Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another Transfer Watch show. More importantly, I hope you're all doing well. So sit back, relax without wasting much of your time. Let's get straight into the show. Yes, people, welcome back once again to Trust Perspective. I hope you're all doing well, and I really do mean that. Let me check who we have in the chat already, what they have to say before we start getting into the items we have lined up to discuss today. Hopefully, you guys will please, get used to bulking up the messages and sending them again as a paragraph rather than going beat by beat. It can, be exhausting, and it doesn't help. And also, please try as much as you can to stay on topic. I'll try my best to get whatever that's makes sense in the chat there. Hello, coach, and welcome. Jerry Z is Jerry a panelist yet? Not yet, not yet. Muslim cartoon. He's still planning on that. Whenever he's ready, he knows how to reach me, and he knows how we can make that work. It is good that Poch is clear with his plans. Coach, is Poch deciding on the outgoings on the club? Yes, he has to. We've heard so much. He wants player A, B, C to stay. Wants player A, B, C, D to D, E, F to go, and all that, which shows that I think he has a lot of say. I don't think it would be down to him alone, but mainly him because he's the one. They want him to deliver, so they have to give him the right to decide who leaves and who stays. Code Web, big up to you. My theory is that Mount is leaving as we are not in the UEFA Champions League. He's getting a better contract at Man United. And the soft part is that Pochettino really wanted him. Here's the thing, as I've always said, it is business for all parties involved. If Mount feels like he's going to get more pay at United, so be it, and good luck to him. It's life. The club also, if they're negotiating, will seek an outcome that will favor them. So same thing with Mount. So I don't blame him for anything. So good luck to him if he ends up leaving, which again it looks like he's most likely going to leave the club. Big up yourself, Brianni Rahayu, aka 343 Dynamo, aka Vival CFC, or Vival FC, aka Contender FC. Always nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Eugene, a big up to you. I hope you're doing well. People react on every rumors with buy. Some like Havertz, Werner, and all the transfers. I am tired of this fan base. You need to take a break if that's what's going to help you. Ugarte is average. Okay. Valverde is ideal. Wow. That's just your opinion. If you ask someone else, I'm sure they'd tell you something different. Mason Mount to Old Trafford, I am not mad. There's a player, he's a player, Ten Hag believes that he can upgrade. I'm not sure I understand that quite well. But you guys really want him, but you're not willing to pay how much you're asking. Big up to you, God of Frogs. I hope you're doing well. Rashi 10, big up to you. Mount, Rashford and Sancho front three. I think they will cook. I get it. A lot of Chelsea fans don't value Mount. What Mount needs is a coach that will nurture him, and he himself also need to, look himself in the mirror and say to himself, you know what, I'm still learning. I think that will go a long way for him because I know there's an excellent player in him actually, but that's my opinion anyway. Disclaimer before some people come at me. God of Frogs, nice to see you. Big up, coach. Big up to you too. The Bridge CFC. And they say Mount is a proper choice. My guy turned into Courtois 2.0. Here's the thing. I'm still going to say this. It's business for all parties involved. It's as simple as that. I'm sure if you're looking for a job, if opportunities come to you, job opportunities come to you, you probably will go choose the one that pays you the most, or the one that favors you. Let me just use the term favor, because in most cases it's not about money. If it entails moving, sometimes people do reject job offers. It's that time of the year, Jerry Z. Big up, and always nice to see you, brother. Chelsea is doing a great job by moving swiftly in their transfer plans. I mean, it sounds easy right now, but at one point, I'm concerned it's going to get complicated because if we move players on, and if any of them are players again, if they are players that are important to us, and we will, if it happens that we need replacement for those players, by the time we're going to the market to get them, we'll be in trouble because the sellers will exploit the fact that you can say at that point, it will be desperation, and they will sense it. Even now, selling will be an issue because they will be lowballing us and all that. Chelsea will regret this. Ten Hag sees something in Mount. I don't know about regret. Chances are we get another player in, and that player turns out to be the better player of the two, if that makes sense. Let me see what else we have. I'm going to try to get to the very bottom as soon as possible. We don't have too much time. Unlocked players like Marcus Rashford, and I get it, but let's see what happens. Are you ready for trophy drought? Like Maklova, it's trophy drought maybe for you, but I don't see it that way. Mason Mount won you Champions League. He was key player. How you Chelsea fans call him crap? Not everyone, but I don't think here's the thing. As much as I don't think he's crap, I don't think he's the best player at Chelsea either. It's as simple as that, and that's the least of my concerns. I really want to move on from that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes to go along with. Let's try and get it to 200 likes, which means we need to get it to 100 as soon as possible. Okay, Bahima Nana Konadu, nice to see you. What if he sells these good products and don't perform as coach? How are we going to get them back? Salah, all the players you're mentioning, we move on from them. Actually, those players you just named, we won the Champions League without them. Hopefully I understood. I understand exactly what you're trying to say there. And Jerry says Chelsea will not regret it. For heaven's sake, Chelsea wanted to keep Mount, be logical, and yeah, negotiations are involved. And chances are he may well be the one that said, you know what, I don't want to stay anymore. I want to leave because some other club offers us something better. It's as simple as that. Big up to you too, Glenn 10. I like your new name. I hope you're doing well. With Glenn 10, I can't say Glenn, because it will sound weird. Glenn 10. No, I can't do that. Kindly ensure to maintain a respectful and professional tone in the communication. I think that will go along with. Please be respectful to each other. Just if you want to present an argument, present your counter argument. You don't have to, take anything personal here. Without the debate, there's nothing to learn. Remember, we sold Mo Salah and Kevin De Bruyne, and look at them now. Mount got enough a chance to shine in a Chelsea shirt, unlike these two players I listed earlier up. I understand your argument there, but the difference is that Mount wants to leave. That's how I see it. I know people probably will not look beyond, their love for Mount, or maybe the fact that Mount is their favorite player, to come to terms that there's a chance actually Mount have decided he doesn't want to stay at Chelsea anymore. I won't lose any sleep if Mount goes. That's the way I see it. If he goes, to me, simply it means it didn't work out. Manchester Miller's Mount. Again, I hope he works well for him. Let's see what else we have here. Kovacic. No respect, Mount, just a betrayer. I think that is just your opinion. Kovacic wanted to leave, and have we offered him a new contract? No, we haven't really. And he's seeking a fresh challenge, and we should let him go. We do that for players all the time. The Prince is here. Big up to you. Please keep dropping the likes on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. We can sign up better players than Kovacic, and first you have to sell Kovacic. So maybe that will help you, just look beyond the fact that you're not happy that he's leaving, or maybe I'm not sure how to put it. At least Courtois sold out and went to Spain, while my boy Money Mason sold out to go to trophyless Man United. That's your argument. Let's move on. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Poch wants to work with Havertz and Mount. Club, let's but go. So much for giving Poch what he wants. here's the thing. If he decides he wants any player, I'm not going to argue against that. It is choice, and he knows he's seen the player, and maybe seen something in the player that he feels like will help him achieve whatever he wants to achieve at Chelsea. It's as simple as that. That's how I see it. Those two bombs, okay, I'm not going to read that one. Please, I don't use that language. Facts, Havertz, Mount, and all of that. That's a better way to put it. Sincerely, any player that doesn't want to play for Chelsea should go. Yeah, I've seen a lot last season, and it's now obvious that those players don't want to play for Chelsea. It's as simple as that. If you don't want to play for the club, you just go. I think even Kovacic and that too. That's your opinion. For me, I see it differently. Even Gallagher can be coached to play like Ugarte. That's the thing. Yes, it's about again having the right person, the right manager who knows how to nurture young players. Next, we'll have to get rid of. I don't. Can you not use that first thing and then get rid of Havertz and Gallagher? I don't think the club would do that. We need to clear out. I don't think it's as simple as a lot of us think. We need new sanctions, maybe. Todd Bowley needs to leave more like the worst owner in history. Wow. I think I'm here to talk transfers, if that makes sense to all of you. I'm not going to dwell too much on this, negativity. Big up to you too, Bobby. Yes, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We are at 20 likes already. Let's get it up. We'll have to get to 100 because we're shooting for 200. The players don't deserve to be here anymore. If anyone wants to go, they should go. I think you've said that 3 times now. The Prince. Let's see. Leave the United fan alone here. He's a good guy. Doesn't insult anybody. Johnny Miller is unhappy about. You think he deserved celebrating it? I don't want to talk about that. This says a lot about our players. Lack of desire and lack of passion. Please, let's learn to bulk up the messages and send them together. Otherwise, I'm going to spend the whole day in the chat there. But turn it into a paragraph before you send it there, please. That's your opinion again. They say Mount got more than enough chances. Very true. And I think he did well. It just, again, at the time when, he wasn't, again, he's just out of form. A lot of people forgot that at one point he was one of the best players we had at the club. That's not me saying really. Again, performers. Let me use the word. One of the best performers we had at the club. But for me, it's nothing. If he leaves, fine. If he stays, fine for me. It's up to the manager. You're just saying that because you're a United fan. Let's see what else we have here. A big up to you, the beautiful game. Always nice to see you. Big up, coach. The biggest transfer this window is going to be Bowley being transferred from the changing room. Let's go. I think it's going to happen. I think he's already starting to reduce his involvement. We read something to that effect a week ago or so, and that is good news. But he still gets involved in negotiations as the club pushes to sign players, which is a good thing, not bad. But let him just please stop going into the dressing room. But bro, more importantly, I hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you in a few days. I hope again you're not planning to leave us as a free agent. I learned that Real Madrid has come up for Kai. I think it's just rumors, absolute nonsense. I don't believe that. Havertz can useless too. That's your opinion. People call Havertz donkey. Yeah, that's why I'm saying I don't want to read that. We should stop using referring to people with such language. I don't like that really. How much do you think we can get from Mount when we sell him? Here's the thing. I read something saying that the club is looking for something around 17 million pounds plus, and I said, you know what? It just doesn't look like we're serious to sell him. And it's as simple as that. He's not in form. So this is again, if we try to sell him now, we're not going to get anything. I think you can say the most would be 60, not even up to 60. And Man United, as we're learning, they're not willing to pay above. They're just willing. They're willing to pay anything below 60 and not 60 and above. Zaha, as a free agent, I think he's made up his mind where he wants to go. Where, I don't know. Yeah, but Mount being at Chelsea since he was a child, and now he wants it to be. It's not betrayal. I don't know how else to talk about that. for it to make sense to you. It's not in any way betrayal. It's business for all parties involved. If he sees more money, he'll most likely follow money. But I get it. In some cases, you know, you will prioritize, all the factors over money. From in case if you're married or if you have kids and all that. But in this case, he's still very young and probably wouldn't mind moving for money. It's as simple as that. True, no one would pay 17 million for him. I've said that before. It's not in the grid. It's not in form. And when last did he play consistently, like a number of, you could say at least 6 games in a row? That hasn't happened for months now. Hello, fam. Hello to you, the Jafta Sequa. Squad 3 Mania has just begun, and I'm happy. A lot of fans are not going to love it, but I believe we need this to move to the next level. We need we've been so hungry on players with love, yet cannot win. And here's the thing: a lot of people will still complain about players, some players leaving, because some of us we have we have players, favorite players in the team, and when they are listed for sale, lots of us will not like it. Well, Manchester United will pay it sadly, but it's good business. I don't think they pay 70 plus, but let's watch and see. Personally, I am not a fan of Ugarte. I think he's average, in my opinion. Thank you so much for saying your opinion. That's the disclaimer I always like to say when people present their opinion in the chat. And the truth remains, no matter what you say, as long as you don't have numbers to back them up and all that, it's still your opinion. So selling Mount 17 million is a good deal. Cash out, please. Man United, they don't want to pay. They're not willing to pay anything above 60. Actually, I think they're trying to pay, is it 55 or so? Even 55, they refuse to pay 55. Hello to you too, Thomas Bays. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining the show. Glenn Tane says, how about we try and reach our old level first before reaching a new level? I think that's a good idea. But how do you do that? I honestly do not know. I don't see a difference between Gallagher and Ugarte. If someone can teach Gallagher to play that role, here's the thing: a lot of differences. I don't even need numbers. Ugarte is a better dribbler, actually. That's the thing. That's for, again, start from there. And you can, if you look at the numbers, maybe you'd still see other aspects where you can say that Ugarte can, that makes him better than Gallagher. So Kovacic, that make him better than Gallagher. Kovacic going to Manchester City is a disgrace to who? It's not a disgrace in any way. He wants to move on, and we have to let him go. If we don't do that, by the time he has just a year left on his contract, then he'd leave it for an even cheaper price. But right now, we can get up to 40 million, or let's say at least 35 million from him for selling him. Mount for 60. Everyone wants out because we don't have Champions League football. When we rebuild, we will be back to the top. Bernard Kemboy, you could argue that the truth is it's easy for some of those guys to bail on us because we don't have Champions League football. I wouldn't argue against anybody saying that's one of the reasons why they are opting to leave. Okay, respect your opinion, but I disagree. By the way, about dribbling, it's up to the player. Is that what you're saying? But I don't think Gallagher is an excellent dribbler. He's not good. He's not
at all.
Sorry, Kashan, what you saying?
Oh, I said he's not a good dribbler at all.
No, he's not. Yeah. He's not. We had one bad season, no Champions League football, and everyone wants to jump the ship. Yeah, I think that's how I see it. You could say that's selfish. Constantin Dante, always nice to see you, brother. Hello, Chichilla. He says hello to you too, bro. Thanks for joining us. Keshan, anything we've discussed you want to talk about before we start picking apart the items we have to discuss here? I'm waiting for you if you have anything to talk about.
Hallelujah. Mason Mount is out of here. And all the fans that seem like they like Mount over Chelsea, they can go with him.
Here's how I see it. They've held talks with the club, And if he ends up leaving, then it's just because it didn't work out. Because it's like as I've said before, it's business for all parties involved. And again, if they don't reach an agreement, just we have no right to say, yeah, it's the owner's fault or it's Mount's fault. We just move on. It's as simple as that. As that. For me, we've actually sold better players in the past, and we still
definitely,
we still do well. Go ahead. We still did well without them. Go ahead. I think you were saying something. Sorry.
No, I was just agreeing with you. We definitely sold way better players than Mount.
Mm-hmm.
Way better.
Yeah.
So there shouldn't be like a big backlash over this. But I feel like everyone keeps saying, "Oh, he's an academy kid." Like someone on the other day when I was on Lewis's stream was trying to say Bowley wanted him out because he's an academy kid. Like, what sense would that make? Like, why would he be so fixated on he's an academy kid to get him out? Like, I feel like people just pick any little thing that they can hang on to just to like pick a fight with Bowley.
For me, it's simple. They're not able to come to an agreement. It's simple, and both parties will move on. And unfortunately, the fans, they take it and run with it. Some blaming Mason Mount, some calling the owners names such as clowns and all of that. I don't know. They forgot it's someone's business, and they will not because some section of the fan base wants Mount to stay and do something then they shouldn't be doing. That's not good for their business. It's as simple as that. I don't know. Let me catch up while we have the chat. I'll bring in IBZ to get his thoughts on the behavior of the fan base with regards to Mount's situation. It's concerning really. The Bridge CFC says, Coach, I think the club is doing the right thing by selling these players. The only senior player that deserves to be in our midfield is Kante. Everyone else can go. And my concern is that, it's been rumored that his contract negotiations has been put on standby. Why? I do not know. Maybe they feel like if they get Ugarte, they might as well, again, be better off selling him. Which type of dribbling Ugarte is good? How that dribbling looks like. Let me shoot the video and show it to you. In fact, my guy, they can leave with Mount. Here's the thing, up to them. Chelsea is the club I support. About ball carrying and physicality, there's no difference. Both are not technical elegance to be a midfield. Elegance to me means nothing. I think Ugarte it's actually a good dribbler. That's how I see it. Maybe you haven't. You haven't watched him properly.
And Ugarte actually plays with a purpose. Gallagher just runs around with his head cut off. Ugarte plays with purpose.
If you watch Ugarte, he's actually able to find solutions in tight spaces. He's able to escape tight spaces with his dribbling ability and all that. And he can only get better. They're both still young players. Ugarte is still 22. Chelsea fans, Kovac's decision and all the players are leaving. Wish them well. Let's support Pochettino. Chelsea club is overloaded. Yet players are hurt. Has become lazy. I hope I read that correctly, but it's a bit jumbled up. Apologies. I kindly urge the fan base to remain calm and observe the ongoing development of the squad. It's important to note that decisions regarding the team are being made with careful considerations, FFP, and all other factors. And Pochettino has a say on he decides what player stays and what player leaves. It's as simple as that. Except for some players such as Hakim Ziyech and Aubameyang, I don't think even if he says to the club he wants to keep him, I don't think that they'd listen to him. Those are two. You could say the exceptions there. J5 to Arsenal, Kovacic to City, Mount to Man United. Who was it here that said we would become a feeder club? I think they were onto something. Here's the thing. Feeder club in the sense that we want to reduce the size of the squad and also be able to make a few purchases and become better. That's how I just want to see it. We should just have an auction there, like a selling cars. Buy one, get one free. That's how somebody has put it before. I don't remember who did that exactly. King Soul, we are seeing the true phases of some of the players leaving Mount, Kovacic, etc. I wouldn't call them snakes. Like I said, it's business for all parties involved, if that makes sense to you. Technical elegance means quality, believe me. Sometimes, yeah, it's quality, but sometimes if somebody applies it unnecessarily, then it becomes useless. But I truly do understand what you mean, brother. And I believe you. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We're 26 likes. Remember, we're shooting for 200 likes, but so we have to be at 100 as soon as possible. Chelsea Dortmund 2.0. I don't think so. I think we'll be better off. I'm going to come to you, IBZ, if you're there. The question is, what do you make of the fans' behavior, and what's your advice to the fans? To me, I don't think it makes sense. We have no right whatsoever to blame the owners or Mount, because none of us, we're not sure, how we've never been at the negotiation tables with them to know, to have any reason, or let me say cause to blame either parties. But you go ahead.
Yeah, man. Good.
And big up to you, first of all, brother. Apologies.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Big up, everyone. Panelists, how you doing? Hope everyone's good. Yeah. We are at the end of the season and developments are taking place. This is it. Me personally, I wanted the kid to kind of not listen to the outside noise, probably fan pressure. Again, his contract situation, those factors has led him to this road. So I just wanted the club to kind of find an agreement, get him staying, and develop, what have you. But if they can't find an agreement and they found an agreement somewhere else, again, it's personal terms that has been agreed with Manchester United. They still have to make the offer, and the offer still has to be in the valuation that Chelsea price him at. So again, obviously, with that being said, if he goes, he goes. I wish him the best, but it kind of hurts a little bit. I was thinking about it overnight that he goes to Manchester United. It doesn't help it doesn't help his supporters or the cause of him not getting booed or him receiving a warm welcome if he comes back to the bridge. So it does beg the question as to his intention to go into Manchester United in that respect. Again, you just need to play Premier League football. You need to play football. You need to earn good wages. That's your gift as a footballer, playing this beautiful sport. So, I mean, but if he really wanted to, probably could have engineered a move elsewhere, probably outside of the league. But again, at his age, going outside the league to play consistent football at the highest level, I think it will bode well in the Premier League. So with that being said, and all roads lead to the Premier League for him. So I wish him the best in that regard. Thanks for your services, bro. But yeah, hold that. See you later.
Does it warrant the sort of abuse that directed at the owners? I don't think even at
owners,
everyone's
we're consumers. We're not. That's it. We're just consumers. I don't know if that rattles a lot of feathers or if that annoys anyone in the chat. I apologize. But we are just consumers, guys. No matter how big your following is on social media, no how many people listen to what you have to say, you're just a consumer. So consumers get emotional when things don't happen to get their way. Consumers are like that. If I don't like the product I got, I'll get angry about it. And I have
Fans are short for fanatics.
Exactly. So, exactly. We're just fanatics. So we have an emotional support that a level-minded businessman will not have that, So our understanding is completely different. At the end of the day, the player wanted a value worth wanted a wage worth his value. That is his right. We cannot determine. I respectfully, I don't think anyone is earning 350k per week to determine what this guy's earning to say, oh, he shouldn't be earning this, that, and the third. Respectfully, let's just take a tall glass and shut the hell up. But with that being said, people, as fans, we're seeing that the performances on the pitch does not warrant this individual wanting this money if he's not going to relay that on the pitch. So that guys comes in where people show their emotional side. So again, it will blow over. People will show their anger, and everyone will shut up at the end of the day because the owners ain't going nowhere. They're gonna sort itself out. So we'll just let that run on for a bit. What I'm saying is what I said last night on Lewis's stream, late last night, because I had to put an input. I said, if the reports are to be true and all roads are leading to the fact that Mason Mount and Mateo Kovacic are going to Manchester City and Manchester United respectively, I do not believe, I may be wrong because I haven't got a crystal ball, but I do not believe that will mean that we are not going to replace them with probably better quality players to supplement those departures. Because no matter how much you look at it, I do not believe that Andre Santos or any of the Carney Chukwuemeka Academy products can replace what we have leaving this summer in Mason Mount and Kovacic if we want to go back to where we want to get to. I'm not saying they won't do in the future, but I don't think next season in 23-24 will be the season in which Andre Santos, Carney Chukwuemeka, Sociedad, all these academy products we purchased, that will be their time. I don't think so. I believe letting Mason Mount and Mateo Kovacic go, you're bringing in replacement, probably better, that can drive us forward to get to where we want to get to. So I believe we will be getting sufficient replacement for that in that respect.
Yeah. I don't see a world where we let them go and not bring in reinforcements. Any goalkeeper in striker targets for goalkeeper, I think it's that the list includes Andre Onana, Robert Sanchez, Emiliano Martinez. I think there's one more that I can't remember. For strikers, the rumors have been circulating around Dusan Vlahovic and Victor Osimhen, but we're not too sure yet in that regard. Let's give Pochettino and the board a time to work on their efforts, because we've been so lonely for a while now. It's been a long season, and I will never forget. I busy kept telling us it was going to be a long season, but I didn't expect it to be as long as it ended up being. Players come and players go. It's as simple as that. Chelsea is the club. The club I support, not the players. I support Chelsea, not the players. I support them under the umbrella called Chelsea. So when they decide to leave, fine. I'll still support my club, if that makes sense. I'm going to go to Roger. Roger, big up to you. But before I do that, what I like about the approach this time around is to clear out first, then replace with what the coach wants. I think it makes sense. We have to be, we have to be very, again, what was the term? For lack of a better term, we have to just, we have to be careful not just to spend for the sake of it. We have to be strategic come summer and be sure was the signing players that will make us better. Let's see what we have here. Gabri Vega would be a good shot if the club are looking for him. Looking at him, but I haven't heard anything with regards to Chelsea looking at Gabri. Of course, we are bringing in a replacement. I think players like Santos Chukwuemeka will get a sufficient playing time next season. From what I think, it doesn't look like Chukwuemeka will go out on loan anymore, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that until. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
Players come, players go, but Spurs will never win a trophy. I think I like that one, Glenn 10. You were saying something, sorry?
Oh, yeah, I just said I think Santos is going to be here next season.
Possibly. Even Casadei, he's doing well in the under 20 FIFA World Cup. Some months ago, I told you Chelsea should buy Vlahovic. Entire panel said, no. Now Chelsea wants him. I don't know when you said buy. I don't remember. Maybe you said because months ago is quite a long time. But you could be correct. I've always wanted Vlahovic myself. That I even did a video with Mikhail, a scouting for Chelsea episode. Broya on loan. I keep that to Fafana. That is just your opinion. We're not sure what the club would do. I'm going to Roger right away. Roger, what do you make of the fans' behavior with regards to Mason Mount's future? Do they even have any right whatsoever to blame either parties, to blame Mason Mount's camp or blame the board? To me, I don't think it's not okay. The sort of, you can say, abuse directed at Mount and also the owners, I think it's concerning, really, even from some of the so-called content creators that, that should be doing otherwise. But your thoughts, Roger, and what advice do you have for the fan base? And big ups to you. I hope you're doing well.
Hello there. Of course, they have the right to abuse. No, of course
Mhm.
not, silly. No. Hola, senors.
Big up to you, man.
No, listen. It's like if you're an accountant, you finished your undergraduate and you're a certified accountant, and you want to be hired by an accountant agency, you
Mhm.
negotiate a salary per annum, for instance, hypothetically, or an hourly wage, whatever the circumstance may be. This, as the gentleman previously have said, we're fanatics. Listen, these are jobs. They work in a entertainment subset of industry, namely a sports division, and they're paid athletes. Their office is their body. It's simple as that. They have a right to, just like clubs do, to, shall we say, earn what they believe is the fair market value for their services. Do you understand? So it's that simple. Yes, I understand. Listen, we're all fans of a particular club or clubs in various sports, and perhaps you grow too attached to a player or players associated with that club, like a John Terry, etc. But there are people that move on, and it happens. It's especially what in America they call free agency. I remember back in the day when I was a young lad, players never moved teams, hardly ever at all. That the actual teams had the power over the players until, I believe his name was Jimmy Hill. He was the players' union in what was then the first division. And so the professional footballers, just like in the NFL, you have the NFLPA, and so that it gives them the power to move on. I don't think we have the right to, shall we say, denigrate these players, to insult them, or it's just immature, it's irresponsible, it's disrespectful. They're paid athletes. Yes, I understand that you have an affiliation with a club and you feel attached to a certain player, but after all, it's a business, and that's all it is. Listen, we're getting down to the bone. I'm just being realistic here. And this player in particular you have on the screen, I like him very much, but is he an elite player? Would you put him in the category of Messi? No. Would you put him in the category of Roger? No. Yes, I used the third person there.
Yeah, I'm about to say Roger. What are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying.
He's just looking for a fight.
No. I'm just.
No, but I know you're kidding. Go
I
ahead.
used Messi as the high point and me as the low point. Okay, it's called. I'm just. It's that simple.
Go ahead, Roger. I'll let you drop. You're making all excellent points, really.
Yeah,
but go ahead, brother.
He's a good athlete, but for some, I don't know. I don't quite comprehend this gentleman, but he's a Marmite person. Marmite meaning in Britain, it's a product, a yeast product that people either love or they detest it. I actually love Marmite, for the record. I was raised on it. It's puts hairs on your chest, laddie. But
do you put that on your crumpets?
No, just toast, old bean. But seriously, it's like Vegemite. It's like people either love Mount or they hate him. I think it was the New York chap, Keyshawn, was it, that said, he can't dribble, or sorry, Gallagher couldn't dribble. But you know what? No, he's not. You wouldn't mistake him for a Messi with the ball. But guess what? He scored 11 goals for Crystal Palace 2 seasons ago. And the last 2 years, our leading scorer has been, 7 goals. So at least he can put the ball in the back of the net. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
He made his first touch, meaning being technical. No, you would never, shall we confuse him with an elite, technical player. But then again, or dribble very well, extensively. But then again, at least he can score, which is more than you can say for virtually all of our players on the squad. We're pathetic, inept. I will use this term, inept. And I say this not begrudgingly. I say this, not in an insulting manner, in a technical sense, because of the mathematics involved. When you look at, we 18th, I think, out of 20 teams scoring this year, or was it 17? I forget. It goes up and down each week. But we're somewhat inept. I think that's, you could say, is an accurate assessment. And you look at someone like Gallagher, at least he can score. And by the way, he did 11 goals on an inferior team to Chelsea that season. So what does that tell you? So Mount, listen, as I said, I don't put him up there, but I don't put him down there either. I don't understand why certain players divide the fan base. I just don't get it. I don't know.
It's concerning, really. It just doesn't make any
disconcerting.
sort of sense,
Yeah.
and that's especially true when we don't know what has transpired during the talks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a business after all, and
it's a business. Yeah,
if he does
For
leave,
all
I wish
there's
him
a chance
well.
they offered Mount something nice, but Manchester United already told him we're going to pay you 350, and Chelsea offered him 300, and he decided to go. You know what? 50,000 is a lot of money, so we just don't know.
So
We don't know.
ESPN reported that it's over image rights, and I'm not sure how accurate that is, but it's a big issue for the youngsters nowadays. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, so let's just move on from it. Honestly, if he ends up leaving, it didn't just see it as it didn't work out. Because talks took place and they did not come to an agreement. It's as simple as that. It's business for all parties involved. Constantine Dante looks like a kid from Turama, maybe going to Liverpool. No, he says, I hope not. I really wanted that guy for us badly. Needed a bigger physical DM. Bobby will be very proud of you. But are we looking at him? I'd say no. We're not looking at him. A lot of people, my bro, according to Fabrizio Romano, Osimhen is Chelsea's first choice, but lack of UEFA Champions League may hinder it. He may decide not to come to Chelsea because of that. But if he truly loves Chelsea, as reports suggest, with him wearing the Chelsea shirt at a very young age, which is on the internet also, if you look for it, you'd see that. I think he may well decide, okay, I just go, I'm going to Chelsea. I get it. They're not there now, but they get there in the coming year. To me, let's see if he truly loves us that much. Or maybe Drogba just give him a call since he idolizes Didier Drogba. Fabrizio Romano talked nonsense. How many times Fabrizio was wrong? How many times was he right? Majority of the times he's actually right. Big up Chelsea all the way. The chat and the panel. Nice to see you, brother. And I want to appeal quickly to those of you that are watching and for one reason or the other not able to participate in the chat. We sincerely do appreciate you. And if you can, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes to go a long way. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, big up to you too, brother. Always nice to see you here. Is Chelsea open to? Here's the thing. I'm not saying your name because I said it the last time. Ty told me the meaning of it, and I'm not going to say that. Is Chelsea open to sell Koulibaly? I'm not too sure. Rumors are the club, he could be sold, but I think we lack experience in the defensive area. I think the club, it only makes sense to keep him. But let's see what happens. Is Chelsea open to sell Koulibaly? Milan needs a defender. There was some talking, and when I heard nothing about it anymore, I think it was just people concluding that he was going to be sold because they were quick to judge him, given that he struggled in a few games, but I think he's done more good to us. But Constantine Dante, I'm not sure what to make of that. Oh, okay, I'm not really, I'm not saying that. Let's play the academy. Okay, let's play the academy. Molly Mace leaves to the highest bidder when his boyhood club is at its lowest point. Chelsea Godfather. Here's the thing. It's business for all parties involved. That's all I'm going to say. We don't know what.
No. I don't even think. You see, I don't even think like the narrative. Hold on, bear with me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, just I'll wait for you. Roger, did you just say paid athlete or paid actor? Sorry.
The narrative, that I think there's been a narrative. Money Mace, he's looking for money. All he cares is about money. He can't. So there's that narrative. He can't seem to agree the deal. So he goes to a club that can afford his new wages, which expires in a year or so. So now he's the snake that left for money. Do you see how the narrative from the fan brews up for no reason? Mm-hmm. So the guy's damned if he doesn't, damned if he don't. So again, it's what the hell does Money Mace even mean? What does that even mean? It's mind-boggling. So I think, in my opinion, fan has played a part into him going to a rival club. Fans have played. If you've been at a club, since you were a kid, knowing all the history and the rivalry of that club, And if you don't feel wanted by your fan base or a large section, or if you feel ostracized for you to even come off social media because of your fan base, and you still feel the hate, maybe there may be an incentive to say, you know what, F these, man, I'm going. And if I don't care who can offer it to me, I'm going. So there is a bit of that has been brewed on, and that can only be.
We just don't know what happened. So that's why I argue we don't have right to
Yeah. So when you put like money Mace, all right. So what? He shouldn't get paid. What should he get paid? Nothing. What should he get paid? £10 an hour? Or what are you talking about? What are you saying here, bro? Let him get his money.
The way some of these players have played this year, yeah, pretty much.
No, yeah, just let him be on the wages I'm on in IR, like the wages I'm doing when I'm going working in the office. Like Gio, like let's wake up and smell the coffee that's brewing, guys. Money Mace. So when you put that narrative, you now inject it. Oh, Money Mace hasn't renewed his contract. He now goes to another club. Oh, Money Mace left Chelsea hanging when it was at his dire stage. Who told you we're at a dire stage? We just performed. We performed very poor this season. We were at a dire stage when we were under sanctions, bro. We got new owners. We got people in place. This is no dire stage, my G. We just can't find an agreement. If this was Kante, let's say all right, let me just flip it on his head. Let's say Money May said I want to retire. What are you all gonna cry? Send him letters, say, "Oh, please don't retire." Oh my God, you're messing me up.
Some people would.
What are we saying? So let's just kind of take our head out of our backsides a bit and just touch some grass, man.
Can I ask something, young gentlemen? Coach, I apologize. I wasn't able to. I didn't hear yesterday's broadcast apart from the first half an hour or so. May I ask, have we discussed, or do you intend on discussing about Pochettino, him not being available to July the 1st?
Yeah, let's just catch up with the topics lined up. You can bring it up, then we'll talk about that.
Sure, I wasn't sure whether you had. I wasn't sure whether you had.
I think somebody asked a question in the chat, and I think somebody explained why that is the case. I don't remember either, so maybe we need to talk about that. But let's catch up with the topics we have lined up.
I didn't mean to deflect. Sorry, I just thought...
No problem. It's okay. You're an OG here. You're a senior panelist. So, Roger, did you say paid athlete or athlete or paid actor? That's the Bluetooth again. I'm asking you that question.
That's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah. If Mount wants to go, let him go. Sentiments is what is killing this club. You don't see these nonsense elsewhere. We see it a lot of places. But because you're only witnessing that of Chelsea because you're a Chelsea fan. But we just move on. That's what we're preaching. If he wants to go, just let him go. Move on. No need to start blaming the owners or blaming Mount because we don't know, again, what transpired during the talks. Luca Chula says there's no way we get a Valverde, Ugarte. And Ugarte, okay. I think we can see, I think Ugarte, I think, okay, you say Ugarte, you think it can still happen, but I think the outgoing will be key. Ugarte would be amazing for us. And I'm seeing Kim Soy in the chat already saying that he's going to PSG. PT says we need about 4 to 5 players, goalkeeper, 2 DMs, a striker, and maybe a defender. Nice to see you here. Please, if you're just joining and you haven't, drop a like on the stream and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We are at 44 likes. Let's get it to 50 and shoot for 100. Remember, we're shooting for 200. Matthews says the midfielder Andre that we bought is very good. He's in the under-20 competition. He's done quite well. Even Cesare Casadei, the Italian international, the Italian kid he's been doing well. Bye every player that's connected with us. So after 3 years, we can start crying again and say sell. That's Chelsea fans for you. Were you saying something, Kishan?
I said Carney played the other day.
Oh, did he play? That's last night, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't get to watch that. Hopefully, I'll see the replay.
And the Paez kid was looking good too.
He scored a goal. He became the youngest scorer in that competition ever. Apart from financials, it could be that Mount wants to play in the UEFA Champions League, and he feels that Chelsea might not even qualify for UEFA Champions League next season. That is just speculation, but you have speculation, but you have every right to do so. Although Poch is better than Hag, and Chelsea would be in top 4 next season, I strongly believe that will be the case. Just to say my name is no offense. Just that word you mean is written different, and it means something different. But maybe because I've been saying it the wrong way, because I can't pronounce it correctly. But why is Valverde on that list? Rumors are that Pochettino wants him. Yeah. Let's see. Ugarte will be joining PSG. You knew it. How do you know? Do you see any reports that says he's joining PSG? I'm not going to read that one there. Apologies to you. This here says, I'm not Mount's biggest fan, but clearly something has gone wrong with the relationship between the club and the players. It's as simple as that. I've always said, I don't think he's the best player at Chelsea. I don't think he's the worst either. If he moves on, fine. If he stays, fine. Chelsea players going to Manchester United is never a good thing. I think that's a solid argument too. For me, the list of my concern is what transpired during the negotiations. I really don't care. Your views on who is that the Napoli guy? I think that's the Napoli guy. Do I think are we looking at him? I don't know. Point Break. I don't know. I don't know if we're looking at him. Roger, what requirement Poch needs to meet for his contract extension? Let's be honest, if he doesn't win the Premier League in 2 years, Chelsea fans will not accept him as a top 4 specialist. How will this work? Here's the thing, just get him the player he wants. If we're strategic in the market in the summer, there's a chance we surprise the whole world with what we're able to achieve. That's how I'm going to leave. I'm just going to leave it at that. Do you understand why some are backing Mount, and rightly so, but are the same people slandering other players? We should stop with hypocrisy. Here's the thing. If this show ends and I don't hear you talk about hypocrisy, I'd ask you for your ID. I'm serious. I know you that well now. Is it true our owners okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm not here to slander anybody or you read your slanderous intent, if there's anything as such. Roger, you are a senior panelist. You can do what you want. Yeah, but not everything he wants. Some of these football fans are delusional. As whatever you say there, especially when it comes to football news in general. Nobody can get anything right, but Fab is closer to the truth than a lie. Lots of them are, but sometimes they do get it wrong. They're humans after all. Your view on Napoli, yes, then I like him. He's an excellent player. Do I think we would be able to get him? I'd say no. I don't see, if Napoli are going to sell players, it will be either him or Osimhen, and not both. That's just that. And I'm sorry I can't pronounce his name. I have to practice that. We as Chelsea fans, we expect a new and strong team next season. I think that will be the case. And Chukwuemeka, what was it? Bully Daniel Chukwuemeka, no player is bigger than a club, and there's no loss that will be bigger than that of Eden Hazard. I think I agree. I believe a lot of us will agree to that. I really do want to scroll to the very bottom, quite a lot to read, and I can't get everything, so that we can switch topic. It's not fine, Coach. We spent lots of hours on Mount Talks. Well, it's not just me. We're going to skip that in a bit. We've addressed it. Let's see what we have here. Abebe, now Chelsea must care about these players. I think they do care. Actually, Chelsea only need, I think I've read lots of your comments. I want to get to the very bottom. I can't read everything you have there. Poch is starting on July 1st, as PSG will continue to pay him till the 30th of June 2023. It helps. Roger, did you hear that now?
For who? Who is this? Oh, no, I know about that. Yes.
Okay. You just want us to discuss it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, yeah. We'll talk about that more when the time comes. But that helps also. Mason Mount is leaving for the money, and not because fans don't like him. Ironically, Man United fans don't rate him but he's happily going there. The manager wants him. That's all that matters. Why is Chelsea selling our players to our rival clubs? I don't understand. Those are the clubs that want them, more importantly. And if you try to force them to stay, they get a chance to leave on the free, and then you lose. You won't get anything from them. Let's see, keep dropping the likes on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We need 49 more likes to get it to 100. Let's make it happen. And if you're a moderator, please keep reminding people to drop a like on the stream, and also do subscribe if they haven't. I beg, please, Chelsea sell Kai Havertz. You get the shock of your life today. Let's move on to the next topic. What else do we have here? This says Chelsea are already expecting to receive low ball offers from clubs looking to exploit their need to sell players, but they are calm and claim they will get it done. Though numerous well-placed sources have expressed doubts whether that will all be possible without Chelsea having to dip into their pockets to some point. The wages the wages of many of their stars are earning are unlikely to be matched elsewhere in many cases. This is something we've talked about 1,000 times. It's common sense. We knew it wasn't going to be that easy, and the wages of the players also may well prove to be a problem. Hopefully, let's see. And that's especially true when the player is not in great form. It doesn't help. And congratulations to the women's team. Reece James, not Reece James. What's her first name actually? Lauren James. The Chelsea women are thrilled to announce that Lauren James has signed a new contract, keeping the forward at the club until the summer of 2027. She joined us from Manchester United. I think she's been excellent. She was eased in gradually. So I remember watching one of the games. She was on the bench, and when she was called upon to come join the action, she looked as if she wanted to say, "No, I'm not doing this." But gradually, she's become a regular right now, and she's been in excellent form for them. So congratulations to Chelsea overall, not just the women's team. I don't know if you guys have anything to add to that, or should I just move on?
No, it's a great achievement. Great
Yeah, it
players.
is. Yeah, it is indeed. Let's see what else we have here. Anything serious here? Big up Kuchila. If Man United want Mount, should up their bid to 16 million, but as per Romano, the offer is 14 million. We'll be lucky to get that much. It's not like he's in the best of form right now. He struggled of late. And when last did he play? Let's say at least 4 games in a row. That has been like 10 years ago. Don't let Mason Mount, N'Golo Kante, and Kovacic, Mateo leave Stamford Bridge. This can be a mistake. To Uzere, Alois, let's see what happens. It's not up to us. I think the 3 of them, all of them actually may end up leaving. We greatly appreciate your support. If you enjoyed the content, we kindly request you to take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel. And be part of the community. Your support means a lot to us and helps us grow. Thank you so much for kindly saying that, Jerry Z. What else do we have here? Anything else? I hope the screen is not becoming slow again today. I don't like it when that starts happening. We haven't gone halfway through the show. If Chelsea can get Ugarte, which other DM are we linked with, and which striker are we going to get? Heston Lucas, I think there's a chance we get Ugarte. If not Ugarte, we may well be looking to get Casado to play in that role, even though he's traditionally, you can say, a box-to-box midfielder. But his approach to the game shows he's capable of fulfilling the DM role, and can also play in the right back, actually. Reece could have done with his, with a hamstring and still fit, right? But I get it. Napoli's coach is going on sabbatical leave, leaving when ovation is loud. That's smart. We would do exploits without Mount. Soldier go, soldier come. Yeah, typical Nigerian saying. I love it. The barrack remains. Chelsea will be greater. I think I agree with you, and that's a delicious comment, actually. Yes, let me get that one, and then we continue with what we have. People say trust the process and structure, and after financial mess, cry when players are sold. you cannot have your cake and eat it. Yep, that's the second analogy today, for lack of a better term. I think we could go for Casado as we have Colwell as a carrot. Maybe that may well happen. We don't know. There's no way to tell what happens. This is, unfortunately, I have a feeling the club will not give up just like that on Felix because he's a marketing signing. I don't think we'll go for Felix anymore. That's just me saying. So this here, with regards to Levi Colwell, says Chelsea have rejected outright a 30 million bid from Brighton to sign Levi Colwell permanently and consider the player not for sale. But here's where we have a problem. I think he has just 2 years left on his contract. What if he refuses to put pen to paper for a new contract? And I think we have an offer on the table for him. I don't, correct me if I'm wrong. And he hasn't. He said he will consider that after the new manager comes in.
We'll cross that bridge when we cross it. You know, when it comes.
But it's a risk.
No, not really. We got a new manager's not even stepped through the door yet. The new manager ain't even spoken to him yet. Let him come in. Let him see how he plays under him, right? You know, and develop, and then we'll cross that bridge in a year's time. And obviously, Poch will be fully at the helm, fully involved in things, and we'll have more of an understanding. But yeah, I mean, when you have a player that's just coming back from loan from a club that's just done absolutely well, got into Europe, best season they've ever had, and he's been part of that, and he's come back to his parent club, yeah, I'll reject that as well because I want to see him develop under us too. He hasn't played a minute for Chelsea, so that 30 million bid rejection is clearly indicated to see, yeah, we want to see his development even more. So yeah,
do you think the rejection will help convince him that we'll have a plan for him? And
well, it will. I mean,
go ahead.
I mean, if I was to be told that they rejected the bid from the team I was just in, it will indicate to me that they probably have a plan for me. I'm not, you know, I can't be, you know, the narrative that players are just demanding and just, you know, I believe they're professional enough to just get your head down. You're still young, just concentrate on football. All this money, where am I going? I want this wages. That will all come. Listen, that will come. His advisors will tell him. His agent should be telling him. His parents, his friends. That will come, my bro. You're 19, 28. You know, you will get all the money in the world, bro. Just focus on developing. The 2-year contract will that will when we get to that bridge that will cross. You'll be even given probably a 5-year deal on top of that. Listen, the future is bright, so I don't think he'll be worrying about where am I. You know, he's still young. Listen, 30 million in the 2-year deal expiring. He's gonna suffice. Don't worry about it, coach. Honestly,
I mean, you know, we're just having a conversation because a lot of people.
I'm with you.
What happens?
Yeah, I'm with you.
But
just
I get
to
your what you
eliminate that
explain.
risk.
Yeah, Roger. Let me ask you. Let me put the question to you this way. I like to listen to theories, conspiracy theories, and I like to dissect them and try to make sense of them. Sometimes even though I know it's absolute nonsense. Sometimes I like to figure out the origins. If that makes sense. In the case of Levi Colwell, I think I'm expecting to start hearing the conspiracy. Some people start saying, "Oh, no wonder why he pretended he forgot he plays for Chelsea, and no wonder why we were losing, not doing well in the game. He's putting out a tweet saying he's enjoying himself, things like that." Do you really think? I don't know. There's no way to tell. Maybe you have an 8-ball to look at and find out if that what's going on in his head. Do you think this kid wants to come back? Because he encouraged them. The fact remains he encouraged Brighton to come give it a try, to test the waters. If we're willing to say he's willing to stay.
I get it. I'm a bit concerned about him. I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of factors that go into him returning to Chelsea and extending his contract. I'm hoping that Poch is the determining factor, because you have an elite coach, quote unquote, and I believe that he would be the person that Colwell would aspire to work under, knowing that he has historically, when he's coached at Southampton and Tottenham, that he's had his emphasis on defense has been quite impressive, to put it mildly. And so if Poch can, reinforce the positive, saying you're part of my future, etc., and convince him. I think he meaning Poch is a deciding factor with quite a few other players also, I believe. If
and rumors said that Pochettino is a big fan of Levi Kovacic.
So that speaks volumes. Then that's a good selling point. I think this is a factor with which I believe carries a lot of weight to it. So, and I think that can be said for a few other players also, like a Mount. I think if Mount is to remain, which is doubtful, I think Poch would be the deciding factor if he speaks to him and reinforces to him that he wants him and he needs him, etc. Or any player. I just used Mount as an example. So, and I think Poch is respected in that regard. So, because he's excelled and worked with a lot of youth historically. So I think that's believable from their perspective, the younger players I'm talking about. So, but I can see him leaving. I can see him bolting because, especially if we go after other centre backs. I mean, if that transpires, then he's going to walk.
And I'm sure you've read the transcript of his interview where he says first. Actually, one of the things that happened is that he forgot he's a Chelsea player, and did say something to the effect of I forgot for a minute that I'm still a Chelsea player. And he says another thing he says is that Brighton gave him an opportunity when nobody did, and he likes to pay back people when they do that.
Loyalty, right? Yeah, loyalty. Yeah, I get that.
He said that. So that plus that social media nonsense and all that, and the fact that, again, I know you understand my point when I said again, you understand why I'm saying Brighton would not just come and say, "Hey, we want to pay this amount for this player," if he didn't encourage them. But go ahead with what you were saying.
No, yeah, okay, so basically, I don't know where his loyalty stands, honestly. It all depends, doesn't it, on his camp, the people that advise him, that he's surrounded with. These are important factors that will bend his ear. I can honestly, I think the chaps on the panel can agree. This could go either way, where you lose young talent like this, and I think if we do lose him, I think we will regret it, because from what I've seen of him this year, he looks like the real deal. He really does.
You and I were we started arguing that he's actually we don't believe that what's his name, and maybe just me, I don't remember quite well with regards to your argument then, that he's what's his name, the Vardio is actually not better than him, but Vardio had played at the World Cup, so most people, it'd be difficult to link beyond his performance at the World Cup to agree that Levi Kovacic is equally as good. But go ahead.
Sure. As much as I would love to have Vardiol, it does not make sense, because you have Badiashile, Chalobah. You have a plethora of players, plus some veterans, of course, and it just doesn't make sense, especially when you have like a Levi Colwell there, and I'm trying to think who's the other chap. He's on loan. I forgot his name now. Anyway, it's
Wait,
Ampadu.
sorry.
Ampadu also. So
sorry.
I mean, we have
Apologies.
No, don't apologize. That's fine.
Did you say it didn't make sense to have Colwell?
No,
Vardiol.
No, it makes no sense to get Vardiol.
We've argued that before. Yeah.
That ain't happening.
No, guys, don't get me wrong. I like Vardiol.
City's getting him. That's a City signing right there. Yeah.
Right. Indeed. Yeah.
In no time.
We've got Ethan Ampadu. For instance, we've got.
I don't think we're keeping him.
No, I don't think so either. But I'm just saying, hypothetically, he's on our books, and you've got a Colwell who's very young, who looks like the real deal. He's tested. He's tried and tested in the Premier League. And you've got Koulibaly, Silva, Fofana, Chalobah, Badiashile. I mean, I don't know what to say. It doesn't make sense for us to go out and buy another player. I think our defensive line is very deep.
I don't think we got any outgoings in that defensive line apart from Cesar Azpilicueta.
Right, yeah,
That's it.
exactly. And even then he may stay, but I doubt it. But I get it.
No.
But
Yeah.
and Gusto's coming in also. So I
Exactly. Yeah.
just feel like if we do lose this chap Levi Colwell, I think we will rue the day. I really do.
It's one player. It's one player. You've seen him play in the Premier League, how good he is on the ball, how calm he is on the ball. That if we lose him, it's one that I can say we're gonna regret it. But the good thing is that his contract expires in 2025, so we still have just about one more year to convince him. To look, we have a part. There's a part for you.
When
it
you say
it will be another Tomori, in my opinion.
so, yeah, exactly. But
I
when
love
you see when
Tomori.
when people say we are good with Badashile or Koulibaly, we can't just have two starting defenders and call it a day, guys, and just say, oh, because of that, then we don't need any more defenders. Yeah, you're gonna have your starting defenders, but you need to have. I'm sorry if it rattles a few feathers, but you need to have players that will have in competition for that, and or injuries come into play, fatigue come to play, all sorts, you know. So we just can't rely on, I'm sorry, two defenders for the whole season, saying that, oh, we don't need any more because, you know, listen, Colwell's gonna come in, Gusto's coming in, Chaloba's chilling. We got Koulibaly, Trevor. Who else? Fofana, sorry. Silva. We're good to go. And with that being said, even that Thiago Silva, I mean, I can't. Me and personally, I don't want to rely on a 40-year-old moving forward. His services is undeniably top tier. Thank you. Since you've come
But
in,
we have to use him sparingly.
You changed my opinion. I thought you would even be impactful. I thought you'd be like a Gonzalo Higuain, just come for another payday. But you came here and you've actually you came and you've done your thing. But if I'm looking at progression for the future and moving into forward, Thiago Silva cannot be part of that, unfortunately, because of his age and the demand of this Premier League. It gets every year the demand raises. The demand every year goes up, and you're an old man. I'm so sorry. This league is just getting demanding. You will need somebody that will come and have that replacement there. So
he's exceeded my expectations.
Exactly, but respectfully, I just going into this 23-24, I do not want to have the heavy reliance on Thiago Silva.
I totally agree.
I really don't. We don't have no Champions League. We ain't got none of the European. We just got Premier League, Carling Cup, FA Cup. Let's just use them sparingly and like that. But we need young, hungry defenders moving forward. That's going to channel it for the next 10 to 15 years, guys. And unfortunately, unless you want Silva in your backline till he's 60 years old, that guy cannot be part of that. So, yeah.
I could go.
All right, I'm going to try to catch up with what we have in the chat because we have, it's not up to at most 1 hour, 5 minutes to round up, and we have quite a lot lined up here. And when I switch to next topic, I'm going to bring Ty on. I don't think there's too much to talk about with regards to the case of Levi Colwell there. Let's see, what else do we have? My screen is giving me issues, so that's not going to make it even easier. And it only happens when DJ comes to the show, and I can't. But that's, by the way, let me see if this shows. It's not highlighting their value. Their player like 80 million to 100 million. When an English player who had a stronger season with us only is 30 million. I don't think, even if we want to sell him, I don't think we should sell him for that amount. We should, but the good thing is that we don't want to sell him. Let's just leave it at that. What else do we have here? Let me see what else we have. Kachila is Levi Colwell. If Levi Colwell gets a time, he will forget Brighton. Chelsea needs to just give this young man, young guys, confidence through game time. I think that makes perfect sense. A lot of people miss early, and that starts by showing him there's a path for you to the first team. Maybe that's what he wants to know. Did they really want to keep him, or if they're willing to sell him? Like I said, he probably encouraged Brighton to come test waters. Now they've seen we don't want to sell him. It's not about the money. Big up Kachila and everyone on the stream. Big up to you too, DJ. I hope you're doing well. Long time no see, brother. And one thing I want to say is this. Maybe you don't know if we're really desperate about getting Casado. We might well say, okay, if you want to keep him, we need Casado. You never know. It's business. the clause with PSG is indeed a factor that is preventing Poch from starting work immediately, according to Julien Laurent. I'm not French, so I can't pronounce that correctly.
Julien Laurent?
Laurent, monsieur.
There's a possibility that Chelsea could have paid PSG around 1 million, but it wouldn't make sense. Just a few days. We are in July 1st, so why waste that? Why pay that much money? Except if he sees value in starting immediately. We have Badiashile, we have him, yeah. So let's see what happens. To expedite the process and get Pochettino started right away, this option would have allowed Chelsea to bypass the clause and have Pochettino join the team without delay. But to me, it's just a month. It's not. He can start working for us. Just don't come train players. I think.
Sorry, I would like to highlight Eugene's comment at 125. Bring it up to play. Let's call him out on it.
Which one?
It's funny how people are saying we don't need Silva after someone important saying in public that Silva is not good enough. Now copy and paste opinion. Eugene, if you at your mindset still believe that a 40-year-old is good enough for the demands of this league, then you must be a delusional individual. If any categorically minded person can understand that Silva is a 40-year-old man. He's an old man, mate. He cannot play at the demands of 26s, 25s, 30-year-olds, bro. He's old. His course is gone. Like Cesar Azpilicueta, these guys, he's gone. It's not. It doesn't take a rocket scientist or you to copy and paste an opinion to see that. The guy.
Well, he's not gone. Let's not say that he fell off the cliff.
No. I'm
he didn't fall off the cliff.
I'm not.
But
saying,
I get what you're saying.
Let's not dwell on that. I'll let you drop IGZ. We have too much to catch up with, please.
What I'm just saying is that I do not want to see. He can stay at the club. He can be, transitional, but starting every single week, heavy reliance on a 40-year-old would not be productive if you want to say you're looking for the future. I'm so sorry. If that rattles your feathers, if you feel that's a bad take, I'm so sorry. But that is my opinion. I do not feel he is the one we need to be heavy reliant moving forward. He can be in and around the squad, come in as an 85th substitute if someone, you know what I mean? But to say him starting every week, we need Silva in the lineup. That is not productive.
All right, let's just move on from that. It's just going to hold us back, and we have less than an hour to go. We have quite a lot to talk about. Big up to you, DJ Michael. Big up. Do remember, Havertz is not a natural striker. People forget these. Play him his natural position of an attacking midfielder, and he will just let him. Is his opinion? But sell him is not the answer. He's talking to someone. He's not talking to you, Keshan. Just leave him alone. I'm going to miss João Felix. He's unlucky. I will really miss him. That's your opinion there. Malang Sarr, you think he's going to come back? I don't know. Sarr is a what? I'm not sure what you're saying there. But Coachella, Brighton 145 million for Casado. What? I don't believe that. For Casado with Colwell moving the other way around. Oh. That may well end up happening. So they basically value Casado at 75 million. But I've always known they're not going to let him go for anything. Didn't this guy sign a deal
in January?
Yeah, but maybe it would have been just an enhancement, but not the length. The length hasn't changed.
Okay.
Yeah, possibly. So I've always known if he's going to go, it's going to be north of 70 million because Arsenal went in with 70 and they refused them. Colwell moving the other way. So they basically value Casado for 75 million pounds. If Colwell doesn't want to stay, let him go. But there's no way to tell whether he wants to stay or not. We're just drawing conclusion based on his behavior on Twitter, which I think it's just being taken out of context if I'm being truthful to myself. Plus what he said during an interview. Actually, Sarr is at Monaco on loan, yeah?
Yes,
I don't think he was with an option to buy. It's funny how people now saying we don't need Silva. Okay, just don't worry about that. We'll move on from that. This is let's say then it's our opinion. If you like Kasim because he says that Silva is not more good couple of weeks ago, it's the opinion, man.
How does
We're
that
all
even make
entitled to
sense?
our opinions. Let's
Just
move on
speaking
from
How
that.
does that
please.
how is that even making sense, guy?
Yeah,
Does that even
let's
make
move on
sense?
from that. DJ, it's a conversation between two people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We're at 63 likes. Let's get it to 100 as soon as possible. Mount is too old, and wow. I'm not going to read that. I'm moving on from that one. Yeah,
that one will get comments.
let's see what we have here. What else do we have here? I don't have to read every comment in the chat. We have something we're discussing. Please, you do have a question. Uzama Jesus say, you do have a question to ask regarding how this new era is working. During the time of Abramovich, we hardly sell most of our players to our rivals. We do, especially under Roman Abramovich. He sanctions sales of some of our players to Arsenal. Yeah, as long as you served us well. If you want to move on, Abramovich give the order. Just let him go. We're never reluctant to sell to our rivals. Actually, then why are we doing that now?
And how many players do we have on 1-year contracts because of Marino?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a risk. If you don't sell them now, it's a risk. It's as simple as that. So unfortunately, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. We have quite a lot to catch up with there today, actually, and we don't have up to an hour.
Hey, the IQ levels of some of our fan base today. Come on, guys. We should have had Weetabix this morning.
Let's not go to
I
that.
didn't say he's gone. I didn't say he's gone. No, he's asking me. He said I didn't say he's gone. I meant the fact.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that,
you know
bro.
what I meant. I shouldn't be able to mansplain it to you guys. Oh my God.
Don't worry. You don't have to. Please, we don't have too much time. IBC, please.
God bless you,
it's a valid observation that Silva may not fit well in Poch's high press, or maybe may not get to play enough, lots of games. That's just what IBC was saying. But a lot of people didn't understand that. Given his age, in terms of mobility and stamina, it could be challenging for him to meet the physical demands. It's as simple as that. I don't know. You can. Go report it to YouTube. I'm not sure what you're saying here. It's against YouTube terms of censor. I didn't read that, and every time if that happens, I usually advise people don't do that. So maybe I read it by mistake, but thank you for highlighting that, guys. And were you the one that read that actually? So you're setting a trap, actually. You're setting a trap. Let me hold on. Let me see what happening here. The same guy that said that.
Move on, coach.
Bro, I bet Silva will outrun him any day of the week.
Yeah, you are the one. Wait. This same guy that said that wrote that thing that I read by mistake. He said you cannot read that. Okay, you cannot. Okay, what's going on? I'm confused. Yeah, I'm just gonna move on, please.
Yeah, move on,
guys. What can we do to keep Mason Mount and N'Golo Kante at Stamford Bridge? As a fan, I am a really big fan of them both. Here's the thing: I'm not sure what we can do. Look who's talking when it comes to. Again, let's not go to that aspect. I think don't take anything personal here, please. Please,
gentlemen, do you think we're losing Kante?
I'm not too sure. We're not sure what's going to happen. The fact that it's said again, the reports are saying that his contract, the negotiations with his camp, has been put on standby. I'm not sure what to make of it, which means it could still happen. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not too sure. It's a common word, but here's the thing: that's not how we operate here. I understand to you it doesn't mean anything, but we don't do that here. I think to me, it's name calling. Even if YouTube doesn't ban a channel because of it, it's name calling. That's how I see it.
It's just not true. It's just not true.
But only PHAT.
Yeah, if you use PHAT, then that's fine.
Pretty hot.
But the other one, you can call it name calling.
Yeah, I was being facetious, coach.
Yeah, but let's just move on, please. Yeah, I get it. We don't do that here. But a grill has no name. Again, but thank you for joining the show, and I appreciate you saying that. But we don't do that. We're not into name calling because it to me it qualifies as name calling correct me if I'm wrong. Without Silva, our backline crumbles. I think we need his leadership. But IB's argument is that he's not going to play every game. We cannot expect him to play every game. I'm just going to move on. We're so sentimental about players leaving. Can someone tell me how Chelsea is going to balance the books? I think we're not going to even get into that argument because we already know we're going to sell players. If anybody needs tissue for crying because a starting player is leaving, I can supply them quite a lot for free, honestly. He's saying that Silva should be let go. He's not. Did he say Silva should let go? But I don't want to talk about that anymore. Let's move on from that.
On to that one, coach.
And Eugene says let Kante go. He's elite, but he's never played like Iniesta. But he's not Iniesta, and Iniesta cannot do what Kante can do. Exactly. It's as simple as that. Comments sections read the room. It's as simple as that. Please. I get it. I'm the one to read it. So if you're calling someone fat in the chat, I'm not going to read it. It's as simple as that. Kante, Kova, RLC, etc. are all experienced players that are crucial for a team to succeed. We cannot replace them with young players. I think we cannot have a bunch of 21-year-olds or that. We have to mix it up with experience for the team to do well. Kante might leave. The situation is 50-50. I think it's common sense. Since it's been put on hold, I'm not sure if they're waiting to see if they can sign Ugarte or any other DM before deciding what to do with Kante. According to reports by Matt Law, it appears that Daniel Levy, chairman of Tottenham, has conveyed to Harry Kane that he will not be sold to another English club. Shocking, isn't it? But that's, by the way, quickly, Ty, do you have anything to say with regards to the Levi Colwill situation? With a minute, and I'll go to Bobby. I want us to move on from that. We spent too much time talking about discussing just two topics. It doesn't help. Go ahead, Ty, if you want to add anything to that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Big up everyone. This whole debate, this whole discussion about Levi Colwill, to me, I think that for one, it showed unprofessionalism, that what he did, because at the end of the day, you're a football player. If you have your opinions, and I know that the whole context behind it was that someone asked him a question, say how you feel, and he replied and said he's doing quite well, or I'm paraphrasing, whatever he did, with a thumbs up and a picture of him and Billy Gilmore. I think that was unprofessional, and like the whole context of him doing that, clearly he knows that based on the time sensitivity, based on the time frame that he replied to that, and his parent club, yes, he's on loan to Brighton, and yes, Brighton have given him the opportunity, and he's appreciative of that, and he's showing allegiance to them. At the end of the day, your loan is going to conclude. You're going to go back to Chelsea, and then if you're going to stay, you're going to stay. If you're going to leave, then you're going to leave. But you're going to be, you're still registered, you're still a player under contract at Chelsea. So at the end of the day, you have to be careful of what you say or do on social media. Like you said, the whole context of him doing that is going to give Brighton some type of ammunition. They're going to think they have ammunition to say that, let us make a bid, and maybe it will persuade Levi Colwill to remain at Brighton, because we've given him an opportunity. He's gotten a chance that has shown that he can be a good player, and he's always thanked Roberto De Zerbi for his help. So in a sense, that's gonna give him a thought that, okay, maybe I can see a Brighton, or Brighton's gonna think that because of those actions, they can come with a bid and they can decide to do so. I don't think that it was a case where he wants to leave, we should keep him, but he's a player that I think could be of good use to the team the coming season, because he showed at Brighton that he has a long way to go, but he can step in, he can learn under Mauricio Pochettino, and perhaps be a player, and he could save us spending in that area. We can use whatever funds that we were intended to use on that, if that was the case, in other areas or in different positions to strengthen in other areas. So I think we should keep him. But at the end of the day, if he wants to leave, which in the past he gave indications of that, I don't think we should stand in his way, because at the end of the day, Chelsea will survive after him because it survived before him, and that goes to every other player as well. And this whole debate that I was listening to before, it was irrelevant, but I'm not going to go into that.
All right, thank you, Ty. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. With 65 likes, 66 likes, 34 more to get it to 100. Let's make it happen. The likes to go along with. Please also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It looks like we're gonna hit 12,000 subscribers very soon. Let me say, I don't know how soon, but it looks like it's gonna come quick. And if you hear Eugene say sell resumes, I don't think he's trolling. He will elaborate, tell you he's injury prone and all that. Levi Cowell plus 40 million cash for Casado is worth pursuing. Maybe the club may well do that, but we don't know. Let's see what happens. I don't think Eugene is trolling, and that's what he does. So, Bobby, if you're there, your thoughts with regards to the Levi Cowell situation.
Yeah, big up, guys.
Hello, Bobby.
Yeah, Colwell is going nowhere, coach. The club has.
And Bobby, more importantly, we hope you're recovering well.
Here.
Yeah, I'm getting there now. But yeah, the club has made that abundantly clear. I don't know what else people want them to say. He's not for sale, period. They don't intend to sell him. It's not even for part exchange, nothing. There will be players that will be sold, and some will surprise many. Some will leave some unhappy, but we will have a number of sales because most of the clear out has been done already, and the replacements are there ready to take their place. Most of it, not all of it. But for me, I don't really know what else to tell you, coach. Levi Colwell is not for sale. As far as Chelsea is concerned, this issue does not even arise. So,
do you think at any time the club will, if they really want Casado, do you think they say, okay, let's work out something? Like I think Chelsea Audio has said in the chart already that they're trying to say, okay, we'll take him and we'll give you Casado plus 14 million. You give us 14 million.
I don't know if the club will do that, but what I do know and what I have evidence of is that the club has said this kid is not for sale, and that is part of the plans going forward. So any other thing is just fans and their own kind of wishful thinking. I don't know. I don't know if the club will do that. But what I do know for certain is that the club have categorically said that Levi is not for sale.
All right, thank you, Bobby. I don't want to stress you too much, but I'll still come back to you in a bit. You think Levi Cowell will go back on loan? That's the question. We don't know what's going to happen. I think you've heard that from Bobby already. We have IBZ here explaining himself. I don't think that's necessary, but I'll just read it. A lot of people weren't paying attention and they took it and run with it. It says, I stated, I do not think a 40-year-old starting week in, week out will be productive enough given the demands of the league and more importantly, actually, how Pochettino plays. And you can rewind the video. He didn't say sell. If that makes sense. But of course, fans will always be fans. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We need 30 more likes to get it to 100. Let's make it happen as soon as possible. I'm going to catch up with a bit of what we have in the chat, and now scroll to the very bottom. Milan wanted to buy. They still want to buy Loftus-Cheek, but today was in the news that they signed a midfielder from Eintracht Frankfurt. I don't think they need him anymore. I think they need him. If anything, I saw something different, entirely different from what you just stated. They're saying they are in advanced negotiations. They're trying to agree terms, personal terms with him. Chelsea is the only club which can get players of all images, regardless to their countries. Okay. I'm not sure what to make of that, but thank you for that contribution in the chat. Keep dropping the likes in the chat, people. 29 more to get it to 100. Glenn 10, we sold better players than Cowell. I am sure we will get a replacement if he leaves. That's how I see it. Chelsea is the club I support. And then when the players come and play under the umbrella, maybe for lack of a better term, called Chelsea, and then yeah, I support them too.
I think he's saying that to be like be sarcastic about, because like we said that about Mount.
Honestly, I'm serious. If he stays, if he goes, and I'm serious, that's who I am. Honestly, if you feel aggrieved, I'm not reading that one. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna get myself into trouble reading everything I say in the chat. I fear he will fall in love with that club. I think he's already again the way he's sounding. If we send him back there, but I would it would be great experience under his belt. Here's the thing: I don't think if we're not going to sell him, I don't think we will say stay on loan there for one more year. It's risky. Yeah, his contract expires in 2025, which means after this season he'd have just 2 years left on his contract, and that's not too much. Mason Mount, the boy who was sold, I am so happy. Okay, enjoy it if that makes you happy.
You know,
me, I don't.
You know, I fear.
I don't really care what happens. That's his opinion.
Do you know what I fear? I hope it don't become the narrative. I said this when Enzo signed. Yeah, we're gonna. We as fans, the sections of the fans that represent the club, will drive players out if they don't feel they're being good enough, or they feel they're quote unquote taking the mickey out of the club. They've done it. They're gonna do it to Mason Mount. If they could do it to Mason Mount, they could do it to any player on this pitch, in our squad. And if they could do it to Mason Mount, they can do it to anyone that they don't care if he's come yesterday, they don't care if he's come 6 months ago. I have that opinion that any player coming into Chelsea, if he doesn't perform in a month, he'll be castricized and thrown in the dirt. So Mikhailo Mudryk will fall into that category. Enzo Fernandez will fall into that category.
I don't think it'll be as intense as Mount.
I think it'll be worse.
No, Mount had the big PR behind him. That's why fans are still split. I feel like some fans were mad because the other fan base is like, "Oh my God, he's generational." This and that.
Look.
And the
Mount
other fan
will leave.
base is like, he's okay. He's not that good.
Mount will leave, right? Mount will leave, and everyone will stop talking about him because he's not a player. Why are we talking about another man's player? Kai Havertz will probably leave. He will leave. Why are we talking about another man's player, right? Our toxicity will drive us to turn our attention to another player in that squad, and it will drive. We're like that. We're seething. We're like that. And if it can happen to Mount, it can happen to anyone, unfortunately. So I see this spiraling into something very, very toxic. Hopefully, we get results working well through Poch, man. Hopefully.
All right, let me catch up with what we have in the chat. Colwell is not for sale, but if Colwell wants it to be a Brighton, he then needs to be sold. I think it's as simple as that. But I'm still suspecting if we really want Casado, we may well say, okay, let's figure out something here. Colwell, I think I've read that one. Uzama Colwell, if we miss out, okay, it's just my screen missing comment. It doesn't. It happens like a slideshow. Fade in, fade out. The other one on top of it. If we miss out on Ugarte, it will be a big blow to us. I believe that this guy is what we need, Coach. I like him. I think but it's hopefully we'll get him. That's all I have to say right now. I've read somewhere that PSG offered him nearly 3 times the wages that we put on the table for him. That report doesn't make any sort of sense. If that's the case, he should be a PSG player right now. We should be hearing that it's done and dusted and we're out of the race. Not for sale stance isn't the strongest stand, given he has only 2 years left on his contract. If we cannot get Casado, if we can get Casado, they should explore that possibility. I think they may well will, because once he has 2 years left on his contract, it'd be even more difficult to get him to put pen to paper for a new contract, and that is just my opinion. Coach, the club will soon give Brighton the 75 million they want for Casado and keep Colwell rather than put him in any kind of deal. That's how we move. Oh yeah. That's how we move. Believe me. But if no defender is leaving, I wouldn't mind them, considering saying, okay, if you want to keep him, okay, no worry. Or maybe with a buyback clause, actually. Give us Casado. Let's talk about that. if that makes sense. It was not a dig at you, bro. Again, it was a tad sarcastic, though. Yeah, but that's how we roll here. We have fun, but sometimes some people can take things personal. It happens. So sometimes some arguments, or you could say sarcasm, can be misunderstood. Ampadusa, Rahman should go even for 5 million each. Gallagher, Kepa, Havas, Pulisic, Alba, Ziyech, Mendy, and more should follow them out. And we want to become elite, not a mid-table relegation club. It's up to the manager to decide who leaves, who goes. But in your opinion, you think all those players should go. But you'll be shocked today with something we have lined up here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. We need 28 more likes to get it to 100 likes. Let's make it happen. And my bro Max from Button Ballers, he said, big up, guys. Still praying for you, Bobby. Get was nice to see Ty back on the show. Colwell is staying. Wow, some argument there. Some people are too certain he's staying. And I don't know where Chelsea all the way got that report that they're trying to see if we want Casada, so we just give them 40 million more and they keep Levi Colwell. But please be sure to go check out Max's YouTube channel. Click the 3 dots to his name and go check it out. Be sure to subscribe. Max should have at least 100,000 subscribers, but I think he's a busy man. Doesn't produce videos more often. But it's on this, but you don't want to miss again. You want to see his content, and believe me, you will not regret it. And we have what else do we have here? Big up, guys. Okay, I've read that one. It's just my screen; it doesn't switch quickly. No, for real. Milan signed the player you're talking about today, Japanese midfielder from Frankfurt. Milan don't need multiple midfielders. I think that deal is over. It would surprise me. I don't think it's over. I think I read something that's quite opposite to what you're just saying there. But let's see what happens. We're not sure what's going to happen. What else do we have? Yes, go check out Tytuk's YouTube channel, please. The link is pinned at the very top. Be sure to subscribe and keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 26 more to get it to 100. Hi to you too, Wahid. Thank you for joining us. What else do we have? I think I may have to scroll to the very bottom. Quite a lot to get, but my screen isn't helping. I think it's StreamYard's issue. Unfortunately, I cannot get everything. I'd have to scroll to the very bottom. But let me see. Toby, Soy, and me, I haven't read any of your comments, so let me try and get yours here. Let's see. Most of Mount's discussions are too emotionally charged. They are not rational at all. I think I agree with you. They're not rational at all. Chelsea FC and Mr. Mount couldn't reach an agreement. Simples. It's as simple as that. All the best of a Mount, except when you play Chelsea. Thank you. Thank you, Toby Sawyer and me. I appreciate you for kindly taking the time to type that comment there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. Nkunku should fit Mount's spot nicely, but if we sell Kai as well, we need a backup for the number 8 row. Here's the thing:
the same Nkunku. You guys will finish him if he doesn't do well. You lot will finish him. You'll chase him out.
It's a Chelsea thing, but I think Nkunku will chase him out. And here's the thing: I think Nkunku would do well. Let's just move on.
My eyes. Is he coming though? Eyes emoji. Is he coming?
No,
eyes emoji.
He's coming. He's coming. No player is bigger than the club. I was sad when Mata left for Manchester United. I also feel sad when Hazard you felt again sad when Hazard left for Real Madrid. But at the end, Chelsea Football Club goes on. It's as simple as that. I don't know how else to put it again for it to make sense. Not best for Manchester United and Mount. They should finish out of Europe next season. Okay, I don't know. That's not what. Okay, I'm going to move on from that. I'm not an English teacher, by the way. What else do we have here? I've been told that the agreement on personal terms between Mateo Kovacic and Manchester City is really close, almost complete. Fabrizio Romano, quoting Fabrizio Romano there. And it was yesterday that we learned and that the club gave Man City permission to speak to Mateo Kovacic. And he's eager to join them. I think he will cook for them. Good luck to him. He's a player I like so much. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't see it that way, and we all see things from different lenses. So that's understandable. I would have loved us to keep him. He's an experienced player. Even if we want to, want to let him go, I don't think it should be immediately. We have too many young players, especially in that midfield area. But that's my opinion. Roger, let's start with you, Kishan, then I'll go to Roger as well lined up. Kishan, are you there?
Oh, no, I've been called out. Hey, coach, I've been called out, man. The comments are attacking me today. I'm loving it. They're attacking
it happens.
Today.
That's the show. That's the show for you. Go ahead, Kishan.
Let's find out. Let's find out if Patrick knows what the fee and how many year deal that Nkuku has signed. If you can't provide the link, then I think you're a bigger melt than me, Patrick. Give me the link right now. I need to see the year he signed and what the compensation fee is. All of that.
You don't have to respond to them. You don't have to respond to them. But go ahead, Kishan. What do you make of Kovacic going to Man City? Is he a player you wanted to leave Chelsea, or are you shocked that he's leaving?
I'm not shocked. The way he was playing since we got Potter, it looked like he didn't want to be here. So, I mean, yeah, deuces.
And if you remember, we argued actually he was going to leave. He wanted a fresh challenge, and I'm not shocked in any way. I don't know, Roger. You have anything to add to that, so we can move on to the next topic as soon as possible?
I've been a big fan of Kova since we got him. But, you know, you can honestly say that across the board, gentlemen, that there's been very few standout players this past season. Seriously, there's been very few. So I think everyone has regressed, shall we say, whether that's consciously or subconsciously. I understand what you're saying. I really do. His body language, he doesn't, I don't know, maybe there's that rot that's in the locker room where the actual team spirit has left the locker room for all intents and purposes. So I don't think we can specifically just point to one individual. So I think you can say it's pretty much, it's a collective, it's ubiquitous in the team. So
yeah,
who knows? But I get what you're saying. No, I agree with you. I don't see him putting in 100% effort per se, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying he's down tools, but he's not exactly playing as if his life depended on it. So I get that. But if he goes to City, this Pep he's the type of personnel that will really fit Pep's system. You're going to see an upgraded version. I think he's like plug and play. He'll be perfect for them.
He will be plug and play.
Yeah, he really will. And that's what concerns me, because you're giving ammunition to the league's biggest rivalry. You know, it's a dominant team as it is. And it's like, we're giving them more bloody ammunition. He's gone from a 9mm to 44. You know, it's like, wow. It's I'd like to listen. I wish him well, but I'd like to see him go outside the league. Same with Mount and everyone else selling to our rivals. That has to stop. I
do agree with you. I think, unfortunately, we knew before time, even when we started the keep or sell exercise, we knew he was going to leave because he wanted to leave. More importantly, hate him or love him, the more, again, the factor you should pay attention to is that he wants to leave. Tabi wants Valverde. The rumors are that Pochettino wants him. So maybe we're seriously looking at him. There's no way to tell at this point. Mount is just a disappointment at this rate. I hold nothing against him. If he's the one that's decided he wants to join Manchester United. Kishan, you wanted to say something?
Never mind. It's not.
Okay. 24 more likes to get it to 100. Let's make it happen, people. I cannot get everything. I will scroll to the very bottom very soon so that we get everything in the chat. And Wally Waldo, more importantly, I hope you're doing well. Always nice to see you, brother. Thank you so much for joining the show. Let's keep the comments aligned. Why Chelsea fans are abusing Mount? I'm shocked at that too. But no chance we are getting Valverde. And his current contract expires in 2027. Let's see. We don't know what's going to happen, and there's a chance they want to sell him. Good day to you too, Chama. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for finding the time to join in the show. No best for Kova and Man City. I'm not sure what to make of that one. There was abused when a couple of years back I said all the players, some at the fan base called generational talent or average at best. Here's the thing. I think we'll throw that term. We'll throw it around again recklessly. But I'm not going to get into what I think that really means and who qualifies as a generational talent or not. Why do we get rattled about mineral stands like Patrick? What are you saying? I'm not sure what you're saying. Mineral stands are who got rattled. Maybe you got rattled. Gusto and Nkunku already in our books. They were just loaned back. In the case of you could say in the case of Nkunku, can it be called a loan? I think we signed him and he just had to finish the season. Yeah, it's a loan too. So you're correct. I think we signed them both. But IBC has every right to argue that we haven't, as long as we haven't gotten an official announcement. So he has every right to argue that he doesn't think we signed them. And sorry, I don't think I'll be able to get too many stuff in the chat. I'm not sure what's wrong with the software. We've paid the money and he's completed his medical. Yep. But he's not signed any sort of contract yet. I am on about the Nkunku deal. Wow. If he hasn't signed anything yet, then IPC has every right to be concerned. So Chelsea will only have the new players next season. I am worried about some of them as they lack experience. I think that's a solid argument there from Choma. What else do we have? Augusto is different. He actually signed the papers and Nkunku hasn't yet. I didn't know that's the case. I've always thought he's put pen to paper already. All that is left is for him to join us in June. I think Fabrizio is reporting that's the case.
Pen to paper. Gusto put pen to paper.
Yeah, I said that too. Nkunku is what I'm not sure. I didn't know
he has not put. It's just quote unquote verbal. Quote unquote, it's done from reputable quote unquote sources. My concern is that it hasn't been done. So when I was at Patrick to say, tell me where we have signed him from RB Leipzig and loan him back to RB Leipzig, show me that reference, and you'll keep referencing Romano. So before you abuse me twice, in which you are threading on thin line, please back it up with reference. So do not come and say we signed him from Leipzig and we're loaning him back, you Mel, or you're the one with the weird laugh. You know what I mean? You could be done from this channel in no time. Let's make it make sense. All
right, Bigger Kuchila, I hope again, trust him well. I'm well. How about you? I hope you're well too. Big up to you too. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. I think I'm having issue highlighting the comments. Unfortunately, I think I may have to skip everything. Bellingham are coming to Madrid. Yeah, for it's no secret anymore. Hello, big up to you too, Martin. Oh, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show here. Let's move on. I don't know why Chelsea always given top priority players to City. Then later they play aggressive against us. Example, Nathan Ake. I think they signed Nathan Ake not directly from Chelsea.
I don't think Kova was our top priority player.
We sold him. We sold him to, was it Burnley? I think it was Burnley. And they signed him. Was it Bournemouth? Yeah. And then they signed him from Bournemouth. I usually mix the names up, unfortunately. But I'm going to move on from that. We are in the age of fan stand wars, and the media is loving it. That's a really okay. We really need to acknowledge while it continues to play out. Yeah, keep dropping the likes. People just 20 more likes to get it to 100. Go ahead, Kishan, were you saying something?
I was going to say that's what the media does. They just divide two different perspectives and let the people battle it out. And
divide and conquer.
Yeah, they just use emotionally charged words and stuff like that to get people out their seats.
They do it in politics, yeah.
Yeah, that's just how it is. And if you fall for it, then it is what it is.
All right. Thank you so much for saying that. Mount hasn't agreed to any personal terms with Manchester United, but they are still talking. I think I read something to that effect myself. The Nkunku news was never really confirmed, like the Gusto deal. I think that has some sort of weird feeling to it right now, especially now that I've gotten in the middle of a debate with regards to that. We need to understand that players will be bought. Players will be sold. Some of the ones are sold, maybe players we really like and admire, but no player is bigger than Chelsea. It's as simple as that. We move on from that. And again, you will see when we play sports next season. Okay, let's move on from that. Please, let's not take anything personal here in the chat. IBZ Nkunku is definitely coming according to our sources, who is my next door neighbor, a sister who is related to the Chelsea physio niece.
My brother.
Married,
My brother. Come on.
Okay. Let me catch up, please. We'll have a few things that we're just going to breeze through them. I don't think we'll have time to analyze anything. IBZ is correct. It's just verbal, no solid proof, which means it can change. So maybe Nkunku just obliges to the verbal agreement because he's a gentleman. It's as simple as that. Chelsea need a good number 9. I think we've talked about that's just the truth. I'm sorry, I can't read everything now. I'm finding it difficult to highlight the comments for some reason. Nkunku has signed. It's official, which is dated from this July. It isn't made public because of RB Leipzig. It's like that deals like this happen all the time. Okay, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. So unfortunately, I can't get everything in the chat. And let's see what Max has to say here. Nkunku has signed a pre-contract, so it's as good as done. Okay, I've seen quite a lot of times today, but I'm just going to say hello, the vibe. Always nice to see you. I'm going to breeze through what we have in the chat. I don't think we have time to analyze this because we have about 22 more minutes to round up. And I think I can, the show will be starting at noon UK time from now on for a long while before it goes back to 11 a.m. UK time, if that makes sense. So please, let's try the best we can not to take things personal here, please. Chelsea robbing City by signing Kovacic to him? No, we're actually making them better. Like Roger said, Kovacic will be plug and play at City. IPZ has a point asking where is the evidence that we signed Nkunku. And like I said, yeah, he has a very solid point. As long as he has not been announced, he can argue it hasn't happened. No one knows, but at least his coach accepted he's leaving. The IPZ Leipzig, I think, president said made a comment with regards to that in public. For Chelsea on the last pre-conference, last press conference of the season, I think, yeah, I remember that too. So, but it's I think we're here to debate. We're not here to suck up to any one person's opinion. You have your opinion. We all have an opinion. If you don't agree with mine, fine. IBC one name. Will you have the guts to apologize when Nkunku holds up at Chelsea? Said
the first person I'll apologize to. The first person I'll apologize to. The first person I'll apologize to will be Tobago, because when it broke in January, or when did it break? Was it January or so, or December? Me and him went at it. I said, Tobago, don't be washed with this. I know it's gone up to now where everyone's saying it's been confirmed, and I'm probably still the only one in my bubble. I will still behave in my bubble until I see him with the shirt and run him. And when he was with the shirt, you will hear me come out. Yeah. And when he's with the shirt,
I'm on your. I get your logic because I feel
when it does happen, if it does happen, gladly. See, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry for doubting the pool of Chelsea. Sorry for doubting my mindset. I don't have to, but I think if I've dragged it all along this way and I don't question it only here. I put my 2 pence in Lewis's thing as well. I'm like, you guys, are you sure? Everyone's like, it's sure. And I'm still going to keep asking until I see that
But
shirt.
here's the thing. You owe me apologies too, because you've been fighting me because of it.
I've been fighting everyone. I don't see. Look, it could really happen, but I just don't see why, if you can get Gusto over the line, if these deals aren't hard to just agree it and come in July, why can't it be done?
I think he might come at the end of his contract, which is in June.
But you just signed a new deal in the summer, though, bro. You signed a new deal in the summer.
So
maybe that's his contract.
We know where you stand. You know where I stand. I know Roger have joined you. Roger have joined you. So let's see what happens.
It's the truth.
No, it's the truth. It makes, like I said, listen, every time I debate that with him, I usually say, I understand your argument, and it makes sense. Because nothing shows, there's nothing to prove that it's done.
I'm a bit dubious about it. I'm a bit skeptical.
If he comes, bro, I'm welcoming him. But I just don't. I'm just skeptical. Why are you guys? Why is everyone?
I just read something. It says the contract's fully gonna be agreed once his upon the
I'm trying to
expiring
say
of
is,
his contract in June.
sure, all I'm trying to say is
Okay.
if it falls through, I wouldn't be surprised because I haven't seen any signed contract.
Yeah, all right.
That's-
And I don't
that's
want.
my
And,
Okay,
I-
so
and I
Roger,
do-
you're on the fence.
if
I
it
am
does
because
fall
I'm
through,
skeptical. I'm
if
skeptical.
it does fall through, guys, please do not transfer your aggression and send Fabrizio death threats. Don't send people death threats because I've seen this happen with Arsenal last season. Bro, it's real. Fans will start sending these journalists, yo, you idiot, you made me believe that this guy's coming for a whole year and he's not coming. What happened? You
Yeah, I see a lot of that. But again,
You start getting delusional. So
I'm believing it with a pinch of salt. If it doesn't
let's
happen,
just-
then I'd say I've always, again, there's a possibility because he hasn't joined. I remember, this is the beauty of saying, I remember B. Mikel to United deal when he was sporting their shirt. He took a picture with Sir Alex Ferguson, actually, to that extent, and ended up becoming a trusted player. So that's a solid argument. We should avoid Ugarte and Rice, no build-up plays. It's not up to us. It's up to the manager. If pre-contract agreement means a player has signed, then Nkunku has signed. But I'm not sure what to make of that. I really want to move on to that. We don't have up to 20 minutes, and quite a lot of stuff we have lined up. I'd have to just breeze through it. Ugarte is a good player, but I'd rather get McAllister so he can link up with Enzo. And McAllister, it's rumored that Liverpool are no longer interested because of the price. December is when what will happen. I'm not sure. Let's see anything else to address here before we move on. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I hate it when this happens. Maybe I need to change software, really. Forget Benzema. He's a club legend now. Again, and will end his career at Real Madrid. I don't think so. If I was Benz, I'd go to Saudi Arabia, given the money that they're offering. I don't recall how much, but it's quite a lot. Pochettino was only announced on Monday, and we already knew he was signed. You could say, again, that maybe shows there's a chance we're signing Nkunku, but it's no guarantee, really. If you get my point there. Let's keep what else do we have here? If Nkunku doesn't come in and we sell Mount and Kai, who plays behind the striker, I don't think we'll sell them both. I don't think we'll sell Kai and Mount, and you're going to be shocked. I think we'll have something lined up that's going to shock you. I visit the Nkunku deal is a done deal. Calm down. Okay, you two calm down.
Okay.
Let's see until it happens. Let's not argue. Let's finish. See.
I finished. My own is done.
Yeah, he had the break. He had the break clause in his contract. Who is it? Pochettino. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I agree. And Coachella bully me when I say something against Fabrizio. I bully you. Okay. I don't think anybody believes you. You're the one that bullies people, actually. Nkunku has a break clause in his new contract that he signed, which means he can break up from it and sign for a different team.
I don't want to laugh.
Wow.
But yeah. Okay. No. Let's move on. I beg. I don't want to laugh.
Okay. Let's see. Sorry, Coach. We know you like cover, but still. I like
Coach,
him, but
are you happy with him going? Are you happy
what can we do? Because he's going to live on a free if we force him to stay. First of all, he wants a fresh challenge. If you force him, if we leave him till next year, then he'd have just a year left, and then we won't get much from selling him. And here's the thing I've learned about players. Once they realize if they get to live on a free and it's not up to a year left, or maybe just more than a year left, they probably would decide to run it down and leave because they get quite a lot of money when they leave as a free agent. Pochettino let Felix go because he knows Nkunku is coming. That's another way to still see it. Let's see what happens then. What else do we have here? Just be glad he may win the next Premier League trophy, and I think he will if he joins them. And rumors are that he's eager to join them. So I'm going to move on from that, see what else we have lined up here, and we have to just knock it out because we don't have up to 15 minutes left. Kovacic has gone. Some people here don't understand the IBZ point. A lot of people don't, and it led to them again. But it happens. That's why we have a show, and that's why it's fun here because everybody's opinion matters. And I know in some places that they would just go with it. You know what? We've signed him. but IBC makes us realize there's a chance it may not happen. Let's
I
face
guess
it,
that's why we have a show,
everyone-
man. We gotta have these
Yeah,
opinions
that's why
to
we
be
have a
have
show. Yeah,
differences. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. It's what makes the
Yeah.
cookie crumble.
yeah. Let's face it, everyone is for sale. If a good offer comes in, just excited to see if their replacement. I think that's a solid argument too. Let's see what else we have here. Can someone explain to me what it means to contract? What it means a contract has been signed. Maybe not today. We don't have too much time. I knew you were going to ask that question. Let's be honest. Kova hasn't been interested all season, and he's picked up a few too many injuries. Let's get the money and move on if that's what you feel like is right for us. So Max is saying no. Nkunku had a break clause. Which means his contract with Leipzig. I'm guessing that's what, since you're using the word had. So it makes sense now. So the opportunity came. So he decided he wanted to leave, and they have no option than to let that happen. Benzema himself don't want to go. That's you thinking he doesn't want to go. But if Real Madrid don't give him a new contract, he will go. I think a lot of money to say no to. I think he'd go. If Nkunku really signed, what do you think? I'm not gonna be the one to argue whether it was a mistake or not. Talks over Mason Mount have progressed positively in recent days between Manchester United and Chelsea. So the two clubs are actually talking. But one thing is sure, I think I saw something else to the effect of he hasn't agreed personal terms as rumored. Mount has 1 year left on his contract and appears determined to leave. With Chelsea wanting to exact a high fee as possible rather than lose him on a free transfer, which means I don't think we get too much money from him because we're desperate, really. And the buying clubs are well aware that we need to sell him now or risk losing him or free. Coach Mikel's case is different. He explained that Chelsea paid for his transfer to Norway, and they were given his dad allowance. Okay, he was a Chelsea property, but he never knew Chelsea wanted him to play. What? Should I read that again? Mikel's case, is different. He explained that Chelsea paid for his transfer to Norway from Nigeria, and they were giving his dad allowances. Okay, he was a Chelsea property even before Manchester United went for him. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, thank you, Oladipo, for educating us on what really happened. Kova is a skilled player but lacks consistency, which means he never held down a regular starting shot at Chelsea, if not for Kante's injury. Wow, some argument. We'll move on from this one. Let's breeze through it. The main hurdle to overcome will be to agree a fee. United value Mason Mount, who has just 12 months left on his contract, at around £55 million, which Chelsea price. While Chelsea price at the England international close to £85 million, we're not serious about selling him. That's all I have to say. While there's a significant disparity between the two clubs, valuation there is a willingness from both parties to negotiate. I don't think United will pay even 70. I don't know if anybody wants to add to that.
That is the prerogative. This is business now, isn't it? This ain't forget your agendas against Mount. Forget the money. This is what Chelsea value their asset at, and the buying party want to purchase it. That's the value in it.
What they perceive is the fair market value.
That's what they value him at. That's
Do you think they'd get that, Roger?
Boy, I think
not a chance.
I think £7.99p plus VAT. No, of course
not. That's their value. That's the value.
Yeah,
that's the value they put him at.
Listen, listen. I remember a few years ago we paid 30.
I don't think it's out I don't think it's out the market value, but I think they've added their own little premium. Probably I don't know, an extra 20 million on that premium.
The minerals value. You got to add the minerals.
I mean. Again, in this market,
let's talk one by one. Let's talk one by one.
In this market, an English player going from another English team, a giant English team, to another giant English team, that's gonna hold some weight, So So I understand that 85 million. It doesn't have to exceed that. It could be in installments. It could be, you pay this amount first, and then over the period of 12 months for the next 3 years or so, you pay X amount to make up the valuation, and maybe after international appearances, clauses. You don't have to pay all in one, but 85 million is realistic. Yeah, that's what I'll say. Yeah,
It's monopoly money, gentlemen. I remember we paid 30 million for Canton. I thought that was obscene.
And 35 for 35 for Eden Hazard.
Yeah, exactly. 32 or 35, whatever it was. Yeah, exactly. So it's like the market is so bloated now. It's ridiculous. And the average, a good average starting player for a top 6 or 7 team is 50 million plus. It's just that's the way the world is. It's the fair market, and it's not sustainable in my opinion. But this is what the market bears right now. Do I think we will get 75 million or so? Honestly, I doubt it. I would assume, because it's not about how good the player is. It's the length of the term of the contract that's left. For instance, if he had 4 years left on his contract, he could go for 100 million or 80, whatever. But he's got 12 months left. Therefore,
and plus, Roger, he's not like he's been firing in all cylinders.
Yeah, no, exactly. But
for 6 months now, up to 6 months now, I don't remember him playing at least 4 games in a row.
Sure. No, but it's not even. I agree with everything you said, but it's not even the fact that he's not on good form. It's the fact that he's only got 12 months left. Even if he was on great form, it negates the fact because of how little time is left on the contract.
Oh yeah, that's a huge factor.
That's the largest factor in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the largest factor. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Smash the like button, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. João Felix could have been a threat next season. I would have kept him at the club. I think I started sensing that maybe we don't want to keep him. The way Frank treated him, because it wasn't like he was a bad player. 60 million of amount. 80. Well, actually, I said 85. I don't think we'll get 60. McCoby always have high prices from our players. Fabrizio says it's 70 million. And that's about right, but I don't think we get that. But if we get that, great for us. Please, Bali should take the 55 million and run before Man United. I get the argument. Also, with Mikel, Lane Oslo submitted fraudulent documents to Manchester United, which made the transfer null and void. Wow, that's criminal. I remember Lane Oslo was the club he played for. And he was good for them, actually. They liked him. I think it was him and Isaac Promise. Negotiations will balance out at 55 to 60, maybe 60, but I think at most 60. Real Baka Abiga, okay, I think it's one of those days Eugene is into just throwing everything he likes in the chat.
He doesn't like English clubs.
Real Madrid, yes, Basa, again, I'm going to move on from that. And just he drags Kimso into it too. I'm just going to move on to a relevant comment in the chat.
You like
here.
To start some fire.
Yeah. Just once again, Ronaldo has around 550 million savings. Next is 100 million investment. Question is, what do you do with that amount of money? A lot. There are things that if you get involved in, actually won't be enough. If that makes sense. Mikel made that explanation in the podcast. Oh, I didn't know. Bringing bad managers, lowering the standards that cannot pay even 83k a week for a player. Shambolic, you harvest what you plant. Wow. Let's see. Mendy, Mount, Cover, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Pulisic, all have the same last contract sign or sell. Mendy doesn't have last. Mendy still has about 2 years left. At least I think 3, at least 2. Let me just be honest here. Why we only have leaks of Mason Mount contract and not the others? I think it's just people exploiting the situation. That doesn't mean everything will have all the truth, if that makes sense, all truthful. Let him go with it, run with it. It's one of those days. I like to start some fire. Man City sold Gabriel Jesus, Stalin but you didn't hear their fan base crying. Maybe because you're not a Man City fan. You
And
pay
maybe
attention
because they
more.
only have 10 supporters, but you can't hear all of them. You know what I mean? Like, it's too small a crowd. You know what I mean? When you hear 10 people crying
Yeah.
out, I mean,
The logic I usually
only 10
use,
of them.
because it's happened in our domain, we usually pay attention to it. So we're not sure how they dealt with it. But you get my opinion. You get my
Coach,
opinion there.
there's nothing to do with. There was only 10 supporters. I mean, 10 supporters
Mhm.
crying. How can you
I
hear
mean,
that? That's
Jesus
nothing.
and Sterling aren't even like key pieces in the Man City team.
Yeah.
So it
Just
wasn't
a
big
quick
deal.
update here. Eddie shared an update with me. It says AC Milan are hard at work to sign Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Chelsea's initial request was £20 million, but Milan are working to strike a deal at 15 million plus add-ons. Talks are ongoing, and the feeling is that a deal is getting closer. I think he joins Milan. And also, Manu Kone is on Chelsea's list, but the priorities are Moises Caicedo and Manuel Ugarte. That's according to Fabrizio Romano. But that's, by the way. What else do we have here? I'm gonna have to breeze through it. Just 3 minutes left before I go help my boy get ready for school. Man City, so I think I've read that one too. Let's see okay, just responding to someone there. Much love to you, Eugene, and much love to you. Much love to you, Kinso. Again, I like it when you guys bring, that's what we're here to do, to have conversations and debate. I don't think anything personal. I'm sure you already know that. What else do we have here? Chelsea are currently leading the race for Ugarte. That's contrary to a lot of stuff being said out there. Chelsea new manager Pochettino is pursuing the club's it's pressuring the club's management and Ugarte himself to close the deal as soon as possible. The Blues are willing to pay 3 million clean a year salary to the player. I don't know what Clean is doing there. Is that with no tax? I'm not sure. He said after tax. I'm not sure what that means when he says clean. Roger, what does that mean?
What was the actual comment?
It says the Blues are willing to pay 3 million clean a year salary to Ugarte. Does that mean after tax?
Clear or clean? Was it clear? C-L-E-A-R?
Clean. C-L-E-E-A-N.
I would assume so. It's not exactly the verbiage that is in the accounting world. I would assume it's everything. That will be the net or gross amount, depending on which context you're using it. I would assume that's everything.
Maybe.
I've never heard clean in the context of payment being made, other than is it legal or not?
Yeah. Again, I've always had something to the effect of after tax.
Yes.
And all that.
Yeah,
Yes,
VAT. In the United Kingdom, it's called, we have VAT, value added tax, which is 20% now. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so it just doesn't make sense there. Coach Ugarte is a PSG player. They offered him 80 pounds a week, and we're offering 30 a week. I don't believe that. I've said before, if that's actually the truth, then Ugarte himself will be stupid not to go to PSG. I don't know what he's saying in the Premier League to make him to be earning
a difference. That's a huge
difference. So that's why I said I don't believe those nonsense. Go ahead, Rhoda, if you were still saying something.
That's a very big delta indeed. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't in any way. I think I agree with you. You can cry if a player is leaving. What are we crying for? I'm not crying for any player leaving Chelsea, honestly. Again, the only thing you'd hear me say whether I knew that player was going to leave or whether I want that player to stay, whether again would be better off keeping that player, and that's just my opinion. I'm not going to cry. If that makes sense. Cornet sounds better, I think, but unfortunately, he's not the club's priority. The priorities are Moises Caicedo and Manuel Ugarte, and that's about 60K a week. I think it's that Glenton. I'd say it's still nonsense. And please, if you haven't subscribed to Titus YouTube channel, please go check it out. I'm tired myself. I think I have to run as soon as possible. This one here says Chilwell signed, no problem. Reece signed, no problem. Why is Mount different? But because maybe they're offering him something he doesn't like, and I don't care I don't want to know. He should go. He doesn't want to stay unless on his terms. Yeah. And I don't blame him. Lucky Omokoro, if that makes sense. He wants what he wants, and if you give it to him, or he leaves, it's business. Okay, here's this. Kai Havertz is Ken Pochettino is keen to keep Kai Havertz and Mason Mount, and this says looking less likely to keep both of them. So the first stays, the latter most likely to leave. And a lot of people are gonna cry for this, and I said that already. And I'm offering tissue if anybody needs one.
May I ask a question to everyone? May I ask a question? Who would you rather have, Kai or Mount? I personally would rather have Kai.
Could neither be a choice.
No,
I'm the same. I'm the same. Keshawn will start crying immediately.
Yeah.
I'm the same. I'd keep Kai because I know that again he's the more technically gifted of the two players.
All right.
Both of
I
them,
wouldn't mind if he's off the bench. Plays like
Oh.
20 minutes. Yeah. All right. Cool.
I think. Listen, we don't know who's going to succeed under Pochettino. I think we're going to be in for a few surprises where players that we probably don't perceive to would be a big hit under him will in actuality, shall we say, succeed more so. And I think there's some players that we believe will succeed, but will actually regress. I think I have a feeling that Kai actually, maybe naively, will actually excel under Poch. I really do. When playing,
and if he's keen to keep him, it obviously sees something in him that he think will work out for him. But go ahead.
Yeah, and listen. I keep on saying this every week, it seems, but Germany, they think he's the second coming. He's highly regarded in Germany.
Man, they can think all they want. I seen 3 seasons of this kid.
Yeah, well, have you seen him for Germany when he plays for his national
Yes,
team?
I seen Flick bench him and put in Mario Götze.
Right, and I've also.
I knew Keshawn wasn't gonna like
Yeah.
this.
But if you've seen the way he plays, have you seen the goals he scored for Germany, what he does, how technically he is?
He scored the 2 goals against Costa Rica the last game.
Yeah, and he
they
scored,
had no shot of making it.
He scored some great goals against England too. It's a friendly, I admit, but still, I think it was a friendly. I can't. Oh no, it could have been for that UEFA that new competition.
Yeah, it was a friendly.
Was it a friendly? I can't recall all that new UEFA tournament.
Yeah.
But listen, I've seen what he can do in its. Not just. I'm not talking about the UEFA Champions League. I'm talking about just generally. He's, and this sounds really corny, but he is a silky player. He really is. He's technical, and I think under the right system, surrounded by the right players, I think he can excel. Of course, I could be 100% wrong, but I see him, and I'm sorry, Coach. I know you disagree with me.
I've seen Drogba go from zero, zero.
Yeah,
literal zero in the mud with Mateo Kovacic to club legend.
Yeah,
there is anyone could,
by the way, a true,
exactly,
genuine club
exactly, legend, and a role model to all of us around the world. But yeah, I think
here's the thing. If Pochettino wants, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, I just see players change. Players can change. I'm not saying I want him. I don't. I'm just saying if Poch comes in, changes him. Boom,
I don't think it's so much change. I think players may suit certain systems, or maybe they're able to. Coaches are able to put over their principles of football, and maybe a certain player can excel within a certain system or around certain players, or there's that natural chemistry either built over time, etc. There's many variables that can make either a team or an individual excel or actually regress. Does that make sense? Conversely regress. So we don't know, but I think he's got so much talent. Just like when I see João Felix, I look at him and I'm saying, this is a player that can do it. I know he's surplus to requirements, but I personally think that it's remiss of us to let him go, because I think we can't afford to let someone of that talent go.
But how long is it going to take for that potential to show? We spent 72 million on him.
But look how young he is, though. He's 23 years of age. Okay, going to be 24 soon. He's 23 years and I think 10 months. He's a fetus. He's not even close to reaching his peak. You have to put that in the context.
Roger, you haven't said he's a fetus for a while.
Yeah,
it's been a while. Like it's 72 million, bro.
He's an embryo, but he's not. You can't blame a player for the price tag associated with him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna blame. But
do you understand?
I see people going after Mudryk after one season and barely playing, but then they're still saying give this kid time.
Yeah,
I
but you have to understand, we haven't exactly been with the exception of the European Championship, league-wise.
I'm really gonna run. I'm really gonna run. I might have to help my son get ready for school. Seldom both wishes again. It happens as you say it. I guess it's down to Kai's expectations as well. I don't want a built-in problem this year. They need to have a sit down. I think his commitment hasn't always been. Again, it's not my problem. I think he's been in poor form of late. But down to multitude of reasons, if you ask me. But I'm not here to make any excuses for anybody. If they sell him, fine. If they keep him, fine. Gallagher with coaching can be a good replacement for Mount if he trains with his ball control, etc. He's only 23. So if Pochettino can tweak Gallagher's fault, he might be a decent player. I think that's a good player in him. I don't have too much time, so I'm not going to be reading too much now. I should have gone 10 minutes ago, honestly. Let me see what else we have here. First, the club management was washed, then backroom staff, followed by player, a stadium moving, a Chelsea pitch owners trust. Can we keep the badge and blue color unrecognizable? Honestly, I'm not sure what to make of that comment. I have to be honest with you. Poch can play Kai in the Dele Alli role.
Bounce.
Sorry?
Up everyone, man. I got to head out, man.
All right. Thank you, IBC. See you next time, brother. If a poor player like Dele Alli cooked for Poch, why not Kai? I think that's a solid argument too. If the manager wants to keep any player, I'll wait to see what the manager wants to do with that player in particular. That's how I see it. I'm not going to again bang my head on the floor, because it doesn't change anything. For instance, we knew Felix was going to leave. We knew Ruben Losisi was going to leave. So far in our keeper sell exercise, I think everything will be. We probably got everything correct. We're not done yet, but the only thing I think we'll get wrong is like maybe Connie Chukwuemeka may well stay. Sell Manuel not go out on loan. Sell both. But if first, I would keep Mount. Kai is just not suited for the league. I'm sorry. That's your opinion. I asked a question to the panel. Now we are in a final mess. How are we gonna balance the books to comply with FFP and then get a few players? I've always asked you that question myself. I've always said, here's the thing: we have a problem. Selling players doesn't mean we'll sell and buy players with all the money we get. I think the clubs will also prioritize the balance in the books. And I've always said maybe the saving grace may well be if we get a new shirt sponsor. And I think that a bulk again, some bulk will come again. A lot of money will come from that, and maybe help us balance the books, quicker than expected. That's all I can say for now, because I don't know how else we do it. That's the only way, and I'm sure you're well acquainted with that. Here's a question to the panelists: the club's culture has changed. Everything has changed. Would you blame any fans if the fans start becoming ignorant at the club? As the club is totally different to the owners. If anybody becomes ignorant, and you could say, and the ignorance is driven by the clubs, by the change of culture at the club, that's the person. I don't know, and I'm not sure. Maybe I don't quite understand. Anybody on the panel want to help me with that?
The club culture has changed. So how is the club culture? Because of the new owners? Well, that I think is natural to a certain extent. The synergy, however you want to term it. I think you're always going to have a culture change for the most part, but you must always keep the core fundamental principles and ethos of the club, especially with its history. So no club is ever stagnant. It's quite fluid, But the culture per se, I'm not sure how you can address that really.
And here's the thing: the culture changing. I don't think in any way you could say reflect on the fans' behavior. I don't think so. I think the culture change again will only be in the day-to-day running of the club, like activities that fans don't get to see actually. But yeah, go ahead, Roger.
No, that's a good point. But the actual. Like having a relationship with the Chelsea pensioners, having all the previous players come back like JT and Frank and so forth. I think there's always going to be that attachment to the past, and I think it's always going to be current. I don't think in that regard it will change. The culture within the actual locker room, who knows, or the actual upstairs, the executive culture, that perhaps could change. But things could change with the new stadium, perhaps also. I don't know, but I don't think. Well, I can see it going both ways, but I think fundamentally the culture of the club shouldn't change unless I'm
Here's the
taking it totally out of context.
The aspect that I think will change that the fans will get to see is I believe I don't think we'll be signing big name players that too many in the future. I think as the young players will sign, I like to say potential players with potentials that will sign as they start to mature. I think we're not going to be looking in the market for like established names and all that. I think
big emphasis on youth, coach. Big emphasis.
Yeah,
on youth.
I think we'll start seeing, especially when they buy the satellite clubs and all that, we'll start seeing situations where the club will be just pulling players from the satellite clubs. Young players will buy just to plug them in at Chelsea to play for us. I don't think it affects. I'm not too sure how to connect it with regards to ignorance again, or the fans being ignorant. I'm not sure how to connect that because. You could say the main aspect of the culture change isn't something that will in any way impact the behavior of the fans. That's how I see it. Maybe I do not understand your question. Maybe that's the case. But I got around people. Unfortunately, I have quite a lot to go. And you guys joined very late, and usually we're done by now. A follow-up question to the panelists: What is that links a specific club to its fans following history and emotional connection? What is this exactly?
What is that link a specific club to its fan following history? Or I don't know. So you have to maybe if you can expand on the question, maybe tomorrow. Coach has got to go.
Yeah, it's just here's thin. I think it's chopped up a bit. Here's thin, but I think maybe I understand it to an extent that I'll try to answer it. Fans again. Individuals choose to follow a club for one reason or the other. In some cases, you can argue, you can say some will start supporting a certain club because that individual has a countryman that plays for that particular club, something like that. I'm not sure if that's if that is helping with the question you've asked. It says a follow-up question to the fans: what is the link? What is it that links a specific club to its fans following its fan following? Is it the history or the emotional connection? What is this exactly? And once you support the club, emotion definitely is there, except if you're not wholeheartedly supporting the club. But as I've said, I don't think this question is complete. I'm not sure what you're asking. Maybe I do not understand your question. Maybe bring it up next time. I'll try to answer it. Please, I don't have too much time. Havertz has a mental relaxation, a nonchalant system. He switches it up for big games, but we don't have the time for that. Unfortunately, you're hearing that the new manager wants him. Kai owes us a big season for the last 3 years. Maybe you're going to see that. And I've always argued, you can say how good a player plays comes down to the demand of the manager. And I've always used the Rudiger's case as an example. He was, you could say, he was bad under Frank Lampard. Frank didn't help matters, I agree. But once Tuchel arrived, he became a different player altogether. We got to make life easier for Poch. We have to support our team. This year says Kai is just not as hungry for success as I want my forwards to be. He openly said football wasn't top of his priority. At least sell him. That's your argument. Let's see. Okay, a club is healthy as long as again its assets on balance sheets are more in value than than its loss or income statement. The moment you fire sell an asset, you reduce a value and book a bigger loss. Trouble ahead. Here's the thing. Would you rather us keep, you could say forfeit selling the players and keep them? It doesn't. I get it. I get your argument, but I disagree with you. I get it. It's a risk that we must take. I get it. A fire sale, yeah, I get it. Assets lose value once you're desperate to sell something. The buying up party knows you're desperate to sell something, and you probably end up not getting as much as you want to get from the sale. So it's something we know is going to happen. Well, we shouldn't, because of that, decide to keep the players. It just doesn't make any sort of sense if we decide to keep them because we're not going to make much money from selling them. But I get it, and thank you for bringing the lectures in today. But thank you so much for that, for distracting us a bit. With that, we've come to the end of the show. I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat, and also let me see what a lot of people have to say here. Just a few comments here I want to get before we call it a day. You cannot blame fans for being ignorant. After an owner started with ignorance by having a fantasy for Porter, maybe that's another way to answer that question. But I see it differently. It didn't make that much sense to me, maybe because I do not understand it. We're going through a rebuild. All clubs go through it, and it takes time. So apologies, people. I cannot get everything. My mind is already elsewhere. See you guys next time. Thank you, everyone, for a brilliant show. I appreciate you, Roger, Tyrone, and Kishon. Thank you for joining the panel today. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.
Bye, Coach. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.